Show for you guys tonight. Come on,
What's up, everybody?
I know, look, we waiting on this guy. The call-in is 404-997-2188. Again, the call-in number is 404-997-2188. At the second hour, at the end of the first hour, we shall be taking calls. But yeah.
Well, guys, we have a subject here tonight that is very near and dear to my heart. But let's begin with welcome to Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking.
I am
the host. I mean, you know, look, we get it's a little bit of chemistry. We got the host.
I am Troy Skinner.
Co-host Antonio Dean. Today, we're gonna be talking about these hoes. Not just any hoes. The ones that are out of order, and that is the only reason I will refer to them as hoes. Number one, because I don't know their names directly. And number two, because their behavior is so ghastly.
Yeah.
Very ghastly.
Yeah.
Ghastly, unacceptable, but more importantly, it is behavior that is actually damaging to their own people's public image and collective public image. Yeah, I mean, you know. So, in any event, there's a 304 culture where I'm from, which is where that term originated. We never get credit for it because it's Northern California. Northern California gets zero respect in the mainstream. But 304, you type that into a calculator and turn it upside down, just like when you spell boob and there's some other silly ass words on the calculator. But 304 is a hoe, and their culture, their behaviors have become more and more acceptable and welcomed in general culture.
Wow.
And that's an issue. It's an issue, especially for the black community, because instead of them going and invading establishments that are not owned by us, they do it to our own.
Yes, sir.
And that is very problematic. We have a few examples here. Are we going to start with the
definition?
Oh, well, man, look, Urban Dictionary is always wrong. I just told you the definition coming from where I'm from. But I will read Urban Dictionary to flatter
our non-black viewers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So a 304, which is just a hoe. That's upside down on the calculator. A skanky and promiscuous girl. Mm-hmm. As per Urban Dictionary, 304 is a skanky and promiscuous woman, often termed as a hoe. HOE is referred to a girl or woman who goes after every guy for physical pleasure. She is labeled as a selfish woman who only cares about boys, flirts with them, and says slutty things, and or her behavior is uncanny socially.
That's a mouthful. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We still see people coming in. Somebody's laughing their ass off.
You know?
Yeah, we got a bunch of laughs.
I'm an expert on this subject, so I've just been trying to get this damn bottle open. There we go.
Yeah, so with that being said, that is our subject for tonight. Well, we got a couple of things we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the 304.
I'm sure we'll branch out to, you know,
yeah,
as usual.
Yeah, no main topic on Thursdays. Thursdays is when we just basically talk about what's going on in the world as far as pop culture and the black community. So we will also be talking about the Chaka King thing that happened. That's a real big thing that's going on.
Correct.
And we will be also talking about, I don't know if you saw this, but this Ohio woman, her name is Tavia Chapman. Tavia Chapman, and what she did at a Kroger parking lot. We're going to be talking about that. And also a couple other things. We will also be reviewing and going back over the woman king controversy and what people had wanted to talk about. But I wanted to, before we even got into that, Tay, what she had said, right?
The Pink Book lessons?
Yes. Well, no. I'm forgetting. Your friend, what was her name? We ended.
Oh, Lady Muse.
Lady Muse.
So last week, Tuesday, the last comment, or one of the more important questions that Lady Muse, or subjects really that she had mentioned, is the effect of the video vixen culture and how it has evolved and developed into really modern woman behavior, man.
Yeah.
You know, and really not even modern woman. Really, it's men are now included in that as well, socially speaking, and we're definitely gonna dig into that. You know, the Corinne Steffens of the world.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to her, I guess, but.
The Meg Thee Stallions,
Stallions, Cardi B's, you know, and it's unfortunate because those are actually educated black women, but
Hey, Daph.
you know, at the end of the day, when you're someone who has a platform, you're someone who has reach and pull and gravitas socially, you represent a large mass of your people.
Yeah.
And you have to take that seriously.
Yeah. Because when we go overseas, like we talked, when we go overseas, we are seen as what they saw in the media.
They think everybody is Chris Brown. They think everybody, you know what I'm saying? They think everybody is Michael Jordan. They think everybody is they think all of us are the same people that they see on television worldwide. And often I believe that we as American citizens don't really realize how much these people see us. You know,
and how influential
we are to the entire world. Again, I think this is going to be the third time I brought this up on the podcast. But that show, I believe it's called like African and Famous.
Yeah,
it's a Netflix show in South Africa, and our brothers over the other pond, the Atlantic pond, they're behaving like us. I always remember the quote. I think I only watched like an episode and a half, but one of the black chicks on there, or the African chicks on there, she says something about, you know, and she had, you know, they have the British accent because they're part of the British Commonwealth. But she said something to the effect of, you know, I was gonna have to slap a bitch. I don't have a British accent. You gotta excuse me.
I was going to have to slap a bitch.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck do you know about having to slap a bitch? You're not even, you know, you're not from that.
Yeah.
You have a completely different culture, but that's how influential we are, and that's how impactful we are to the rest of the world. And I believe that it's time that we shed some light on that and really help to get that more respected.
Yeah, as I heard you earlier today when I was in here working in the studio, you were counseling someone, and on the phone you were basically saying who we are spiritually as a people and how we affect people as well.
We affect the entire world. We affect the entire world.
So when you get a chance, CMCT, again, this is Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking, and I think it went off. I don't know. What's going on? Did it go off? The live?
Is that thing even charging?
Yeah, it's charging.
Yeah, just click back into it.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what? It might have updated while
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. Samsung has a habit of doing that.
Wow, okay. One of these days we'll
figure it out.
Yeah, we will get this together. So, sorry guys, if you were signed in, please sign back in. Don't leave us out here in the dust, because we really want everybody to be a part of this
every single
show
for sure.
Definitely tonight we're going in, and we want people who are able to, be a part of this. And if you're not able to sign in on my end, you can sign in on _dosage, DOSAGE. You can go to his Instagram if I'm having more problems on mine in regards to it. Thanks for coming back in. I appreciate everybody who got disconnected, unfortunately. Thanks for coming back in. Appreciate you. What I was basically about to say was if you are looking to join us tonight through phone call, it's 404-997-2188. Again, that's 404-997-2188. That's our main call-in line. You can reach us on Facebook at facebook.com CMCT Show. You can reach us on YouTube, CMCT_show. If anything changes on that, it would just be the underscore will disappear. And Twitter, we're on there as well, CMCT_show. Our email is cmctshow@gmail.com. And we have TikTok, but we haven't added anything yet, but it's coming. And if you would like to donate and help us out, because, you know, there's always electricity and things that we have to pay for in regards to running the show, you can hit me on the link tree and also at the _ dosages link tree. And you can send us something through Cash App or Venmo. We greatly appreciate it. We will be getting our Patreon page up really soon, and we have a lot of stuff that we're going to be adding to that. We will also be having merchandise. We're going to be having a contest soon where we'll be giving away some merchandise for people who are consistently watching us and want to support our show. So with that being said, we're going to move into our segment today and just start talking crazy. If you have some questions, you can send them in the chat. Send them in the chat. Definitely through the _ dosage. Send it through his Instagram. We already have one. Somebody. Yeah. Okay.
So, go ahead.
No. I mean, let's. Yeah.
So let's run into it. The very first question, which I think is very imperative here, I definitely want to attack this a little bit. Will we be talking about the infamous hoe phase? I don't believe that there's any such thing as a hoe phase. I think that people just do what the fuck they want to do and label it under something that they believe is most acceptable. And something like the hoe phase is excusable, especially in today's time. There's no such thing as a hoe phase. If that's what you're being, that's just what you're being. I never had a fat phase. I was just a nigga who I like food. And at some point I said, well, let me not eat too much food. It wasn't a phase. I just like food.
Yeah.
So these people who like behaving promiscuously, indignantly, it's not a phase. It's what they are right there at that time in that moment. And if it's something that you have to give a disclaimer for, it means that you have some sort of shame. Yeah.
And what I will add to that, like I was just talking with someone recently and they said that they feel like they have a sexual addiction. And I don't believe in sexual addictions. I believe that there are some people who are more sexual than others. I think there are some people who genuinely are more apt to being sexual than other people. And so with the whole phase situation, I am totally with you in agreement on that. I think, because people sometimes will go to college and they'll say, that was my whole phase. I got away from home and I was able to be who I wanted to be.
You decided to be who you were.
Yeah, of course.
Have nothing to do with a phase.
Of course.
Excuse me. And it's okay to be that, if you're honest about it. The moment we start, it is a little crooked, huh? But yeah, the moment you start adding disclaimers and things like that, it means that you have shame for it. Whether that be internally or whether that be because that socially, you may be castrated. And perhaps you should be.
You are or you not. Yeah, that's right. Somebody said no such thing as a hoe phase. You are or you not.
Hey, is you is or is you ain't.
You can. Listen. Some people are hoes and they get married and they're able to curtail their hold'em in their marriage.
Curtail, no. Mask, yes.
So you believe it's masking?
Yeah.
I believe that they just decided they're going to be a hoe for that one person. Because we talk about monogamy all the time, right? And we say that monogamy is a choice.
They met someone whose energy matched theirs.
Boom. So
it has nothing to do with them not continuing to be who they are. And if they are in a situation where they've masked it and they can't be who they actually are, now we run into marital issues, relationship problems.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
This becomes this is a person who will become depressed.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's what you see in a lot of marriages, especially as the years move on. So basically, we're going to go into the 304. There's been something going on at the Turkey Leg Hut. Okay, there's a situation that's been happening consistently.
Is that out in Dallas, Texas?
It's
somewhere, or it might be Houston.
Yeah, I think it's Houston.
One of the two.
Yeah,
but it's somewhere out in Texas. It's a very popular black establishment or African American establishment, whatever term you want to throw at black people. But it's a very important establishment, or has become an important establishment for the community there over the past couple of years since COVID began.
Okay,
And,
so we call
for
the
some
turkey
reason,
leg hood.
You want to play the video
If y'all
first, or
got a
you want me
dress
to break that
code,
down?
I think you can break it down while we're
look,
going over it,
I
because
don't go on
basically they
social
can see
media about it,
the
but if
footage
you
and
got a
get an
dress code,
idea
then
of what's
don't serve
happening.
no
Yeah.
fucking food.
So
Simple.
basically, what Antonio's
Yeah, I
talking
know you
about
see it.
is
We got another one of these
the breakdown
loudmouth
of the
foot
respect, and it
draggers out
started
here with all
with
this busted
the
bonnet
Turkey
babbling
Hut.
going
It actually
on.
started with a different
First of all,
restaurant.
did Monique
where
already
the
tell
man
y'all
had
not to come out the
explain to
house
the
with that bonnet
women
on?
who were
I've
coming
been
into the
seeing
restaurant,
it, not just at the
that
airport. I've been seeing it at the store.
they were being
at the
disrespectful in
mall.
regards
I've
to
been
the
seeing
establishment.
sisters showing
He
up
had a
with these
certain type
bonnets and
of
headscarves
idea
and
of how he
slippers.
wanted to run his
And
restaurant,
the
and they would
question
come
that
in
I'm
there and they
asking
would
to you, my
twerk.
sweet baby.
Correct.
When did
I
we
mean, on
lose
the
pride?
tables, they were just losing their mind. So that was the first time
When
I
did
saw
we
something
step
like that.
away
And now
of
with the
let me
Turkey
make
Leg
sure
Hut,
I'm presentable
they have a
when I
dress code
leave my
because they had so
home.
many people coming
Let
in
me make sure I'm
wearing all
representing
types of
the
garb
family
and
I
different types of,
created.
That was
gear
well over
that
a
they
year
had to
ago,
do a
documented.
specific dress code.
And now
No-
in
no bonnets,
2022,
no,
we still have
workout
people like
clothes,
this
no,
one up here trying to
sleepwear,
protest the right
you
to
must
wear her bonnet
pants, you
inside
must
of an
wear shirts,
establishment that
you know,
prohibits
certain
them.
things. And
This woman
some of
wanted to
these
get
girls
a
were just getting
takeout
upset,
order at the
talking
famous
about,
Turkey
I
Leg
was
Hut
just
in
doing a
Houston,
takeout order. This
Texas.
girl right here that
She
you
was
see on the
denied
screen,
service.
and
So you
she
know
made
what
a
she
video,
did? She decided to go
condemning
online
the
to try to
restaurant
badmouth this
about the fact
business.
that she felt like
Great
she should
family
have the
down
right
there
to
in
go
Houston.
in.
They put
This
this
couple
restaurant
here,
together. They
who
own
the
it. They
restaurant, she should
operate
have
it.
the right to
Despite
go
all
in
the obstacles
and
they've been
wear a
through,
bonnet.
they're still there.
And that was totally
But you got
against the
Shaquanda
rules.
showing up,
So she had a
upset that
problem
she
with
can't
that.
have
She
her
made
bonnet
a
on.
TikTok,
So she
and she
decided
made
to
a,
get online and try to ruin these
Instagram,
folks' reputation.
video
Take a
about,
second to make sure that you're
what she
subscribed to the
felt should have
channel.
been
Click the
in these
notification
conditions.
bell for all
Felt. Very
updates.
important
And if you're
term.
from H-Town, Houston, Texas, let me know below. Drop it below in the
It's
comments.
Houston.
Not going to waste any
If you
time. Let's
haven't
get back
had a
to this
chance, go to
video.
Pink Book Lessons.
Okay, so we call the Turkey Leg Hood.
Her page
If y'all got a
is
dress
awesome.
code,
She's very big on the
look,
same stuff that
I
we
don't
talk
go on
about,
social
which is
media about it, but
accountability
if
for the
you
black
got a
community.
dress code, then don't serve no fucking
100%.
food. Simple.
Her bird logic. If the restaurant
gonna,
had to have a dress
move on?
code, they
Well,
shouldn't
no,
serve
I
food
will.
then?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
We're still
that's
talking about-
exactly
no, we're still
what they
talking about 304.
did. They're
Yeah,
not
we're still
serving
talking about
food
that,
to the
sure.
people who are not following the dress
once again, if you
code,
just joined in,
which is
you'll
why
know what a
you
304
got
is.
turned
Pretty much
away.
is you put it
If
in
it
a
was up to
calculator,
her,
turn it
they'll just
upside down,
close the whole
304,
business
and it becomes
down
cold.
and
It shows
don't serve.
cold.
So
The
recently,
next
I
one
talked
was
about the incident in
basically,
Houston at the Jack in the
follow-up.
Box,
A
where the
follow-up
Florida man is
to-
suing the
this
company
was her
for $1 million
introduction to another chick
after their
that had,
employee shot at him.
a
The dispute
customer.
was over curly fries. If you
it's
missed that
ridiculous.
video, I'll leave the link
The
below for
behavior.
you to check
The
it out.
behavior.
They're
But while
completely
we're
out of
talking about
control,
Houston,
man.
I have to tell you about a
Zero
rebel
order.
who called herself protesting the
there's no
dress code
accountability.
at the
And so
famous
the
Turkey Leg Hut in
went through
Houston,
another
Texas.
situation.
Shout
I don't know
out
if
to
you know
our
about
brother
this one. I think we
Jerome
talked
from
about
Washington,
it.
D.C.
Yeah, where
for
the
sending
girl
this
went
story in.
and she's
I
a
appreciate
stripper.
you, brother,
She
for
flew
bringing this
all
to
the
my
way
attention.
from,
Before we get into it, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Click the notification bell for all updates. If you're new to the channel, drop a new subscriber below, and I'll try my best to respond to all of you.
Just shoes and
On
fighting
Saturday,
to be there
September 17th,
in
this
a-
idiotic
in a-
woman
in
right
a
here, she wrote this on
obviously
Twitter. She
unacceptable
said, I
way
heard Turkey Leg
just to
Hut
break
had a
the
dress
rules.
code.
And
As you
this
can
is her.
see, I don't
And
give a
she
F.
is a proclaimed
Saying
stripper.
forget
That's
their
what she
dress
does for her
code.
job.
Then
And
she
said, I
shared a
heard
video of
Turkey
her
Leg Hut had a
walking
dress
in the
code.
Turkey Leg Hut.
And
The
you
woman in
see,
her
I
full
don't give a
Magic
F.
City
Yeah,
uniform
as you
had
can see, I don't
nothing
give a
on
F.
but a
And
pair
this
of
was
socks
her
and some
getting ready to
sneakers.
go in.
And of course, she had her
And
613
there was a
helmet
guy
on her
that's
head.
actually
Yeah, she's a
taping her
613.
go in like
She was wearing
this.
that 613
And there were
hair.
people
Not
there
sure what I'm
eating,
talking
kids
about. Google
eating,
613 hair and you'll see. She
and
waddled
if you
her
watch
bare
the- you
behind
go
through
to,
the parking
Pink Book
lot,
Lessons,
walked in
she
front
has
of
a
all
link
the patrons
to
eating
the
outside on the
video.
patio
And I
and
watched
walked
it,
into the
and I was-
restaurant.
I almost
I'm
threw
going to
up,
leave
bro.
the link
Now,
below
the
for you to
issue
check
with
out the
this
clip
is-
of this
which is what
disgusting
I've been trying to
woman.
get
And
to.
then after she did this,
Why
she went back on
are
Twitter
black
telling men to
people
stop sending her
doing
D-pics.
this
And if they
to
wanted to
other
see
black
her walking
people
around like that
who
in
are
person, they needed to
looking
book her. She said, don't DM me if you don't have any money.
All fellowship.
I gotta be honest, when I saw that video, I was totally disgusted. When I read the comments, it was
disgusting.
worse. And I'm just sitting there shocked, like, do these people not realize what this woman is doing? She is literally sabotaging these people's business.
Yeah,
the turkey leg hut, they don't need this kind of publicity. They have celebrities and all kinds of people come in the restaurant every day, fully clothed, by the way, and following the dress code. People who actually support their business. They patronize the business and encourage others to do so as well. They're doing a really great job despite the roadblocks that they've been dealing with on the local level. And also outside of the pushback from the rebels complaining about following their dress code. I've talked about this a few times, lending my support to their business. You know, I see what they're doing. And I also see black people, mostly black women, trying to destroy
she's made magazine covers and everything, just discussing, hey, you know, we want to have
a family environment.
tasteful.
Okay.
Maybe not family, but just a tasteful environment. We should be able to, just because there's rappers showing up and things like that, we're not letting them, do drugs in the parking lot or in the restaurant and act a fool and all of this. They want people to show up and have a good time, but not be foolish. And I don't think that that's too much to ask for.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. I mean, listen, some people don't have no home training. And if you allow all types of behavior to happen in your business, in your establishment, there's a likelihood of you getting shut down. Because the element, and
It's bad for business.
This is the problem that I have with the black community. We are so quick to feel like we are being judged by what we do that is bad. So a lot of times when you hear black people say, "Oh, that's not fair," they wouldn't have treated Dylan like that, right? And it's like, but you're not Dylan. Why do you want to be rewarded for bad behavior? If someone's doing something bad, you can't say and compare yourself. Well, they treated him this way. Why are they treating us this way? It's all bad.
That's a childlike behavior.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, Antonio did it. Why you not doing it? You know what I'm saying? Why you not doing it for me? So I would like for that person that wrote that to elaborate what you mean by the turkey hurt.
She says, did she follow? Yeah. Says they ask people, but when you go in there, it's not like what they say. There's weed smoking on the patio, open containers on the street, and they overcharge. It's really unfortunate. I don't believe there's any such thing as overcharging. Your business, you choose your own value, but she says all the owners do is fight and they're always suing each other. I haven't seen any press on that.
Yeah.
If you could provide any sources on that, that would be great.
Absolutely. Not that we're saying that we don't believe you.
Yeah, but let's have some verification. And one of the things that Layla Muse brought up says, well, I read a tweet that said, "Give me 2 hoes before 11 virgins." So it's a very interesting subject matter.
What, a tweet saying? Okay, let me get that right.
A tweet that says, "Give me 2 hoes before you give me 11 virgins." So saying that men are rewarding or encouraging this kind of behavior.
Well, yeah, but there's certain men that of course that's
a hard one to really weigh in on, because I don't think that me and you had this talk the other day. I've only been with one virgin in my lifetime, and that was when I lost my virginity. I don't think it's a man's job to be a man or a woman's job to be going around taking someone else's innocence if they're not going to treat it with value.
Yeah, that's a certain type of person that does.
Yeah, that's a strange person actually. That's a very strange person in my opinion.
Layla Muse, you would have to the tweet. I would like to know the person.
Oh shit!
I would like to know the person who had posted the tweet, because
really quick. Can you inbox that link, please?
Yeah.
Because I can't click it in the comments.
Okay. Yeah, because by seeing that, when you see that, who is the person that was saying that? You see, because I wouldn't want that person to be indicative of representing me.
Of course, I agree with that.
You see, so a lot of times, and we talked about that on Tuesday, the level of men that's out there. A lot of these guys are.
Well, I want to always call to attention the statistics. 3 out of 4. Well, I'm gonna talk about black men in general, but 3 out of 4 black men are actually married and active fathers in their children's lives, and they're married to black women. Let's be very clear about that.
Right.
Black men are actually in the 80th percentile of active fathers of all men in the United States. So let's be very clear about that. So the small percentage that we're talking about, it's unfortunate, but they get the most attention when really they're not the majority.
LT Pearson said insecurity is their issue. Who are you speaking about? Are you speaking about the men or the women? If it's the women, like the one that went into the turkey leg hut naked like that?
Foolish.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
ridiculous.
foolish.
It's so yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on that. Man, just never enough time.
No.
Never enough time to talk about all these things.
Well, look, the issue that I think overall needs to be addressed concerning this is how do we get our people to want to go along with order amongst one another.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're gonna act out, nigga, go act up at a Caucasian Jack in the Box or something. Or, you know, stop.
Well,
stop with the friendly fire within our own community.
Yeah, they'll get arrested, and they know that, and that's kind of why they give each other so much problems.
Because we're expected to behave like that with one another, you know. And I believe also subconsciously, I forget what the actual term is, but it's a self-hate kind of situation where we're okay with attacking our own because the world is already attacking our own. You know, it's the same as if I see my parents do something, then that's more than likely what I'm going to follow. You know, so when they see the authority figures and the system itself and others doing these things to us, the more likely behavior, or the more than likely behavior that's gonna come from us is we attack each other. You know, now I won't mention black on black crime. That's a whole nother subject. But you know, we're more apt to go after one another than to take care of one another. You know, loving your brother and loving your sister it's not something that's commonly seen in black media or black targeted media.
Yeah, I think we need to start making more personal pledges on what we're going to do personally. I mean, I know this is somebody who I respect genuinely and tremendously. And if anyone out there that knows me personally, you know I'm all about building up the black community. I'm all about getting to a place where we have a level of respect for each other, because that's how you're able to build. You can't put a rotten brick on top of a strong brick and expect to put a strong brick on top of that rotten brick. It's just going to cause a crack in the foundation. Okay, so yeah, speaking about anyone who would parade nude anyway, absolutely. Crabs in the barrel. That's right, nomadic. Absolutely. So, with that being said, let me ask you a question, because we say the 304 mentality. All right. How does that translate to relationships where violence is instituted by women to men? How does
one more time?
Well, you have the 304 woman who, you know, she feels like she can parade into the turkey leg hut and be naked. What about those women who are violent in that same mentality? Not just the sexual pleasure, but, you know, or the rebelliousness, but you know, I don't have a respect for a man if he's out of order or if he's this way or that way.
What exactly are you asking?
Just basically, how does that translate to the 304? Like, you know, it's a different level of the 304.
Well, I think it's this, is when there's a culture promoted that is shameless, anything can come from that. It's another form of anarchy. It's social anarchy, if you will. And we don't have any sort of social constitution that's beneficial to our public image in the black community. You know, especially when it comes to gaining attention in the media and, you know, all of those sorts of things. I remember at the high school that I graduated from, and I won't mention the girl's name, but we were the two people who were the valedictorians at that high school. And she was a young black lady, and I was who I was, and we wanted to go up there and make a statement. And my idea of a statement and her idea of a statement were completely different. She wanted her statement to be, yeah, you know, some yeah, bitch, you feel me? You know, some type of shit like that. And my goal was just to go up there and express to them, you know, that just because this is the area that we grew up in and this is the type of school that we're at, that it doesn't mean that we're not going to be successful. It doesn't mean that this type of environment can't be beneficial to our community. You know, me and this young lady, we spoke at the school board in Sacramento, California together. You know, we represented our high school, and she went up before me. I didn't know what her idea was. You know what I'm saying? And she went up there before me, man, and you know, she damn near acted a fool. And I had to follow up, and I kept it short and sweet, and congratulated all of us for making it in that environment. But that was 10 years ago. So from that to now, where we've got OnlyFans, Pornhub, X videos accounts, and so forth, being something that is promoted as a viable option for livelihood, and not even just livelihood, but for press and popularity and fame of some sort. You know, it's not only is it a result of just bad behavior, but I think it's a result of the immediate gratification era that we're in. You know, we're using all of these luxuries incorrectly, and unfortunately, you know, I'm definitely not pegging this only to the black community, but I'm more concerned with the black community because that's the community that I'm a part of.
Yeah.
You know, so I roundabout don't give a fuck what other cultures are doing. I care what my people are doing. And if the rest of the world is jumping off the fucking bridge, why are we doing it too?
Yeah.
Why are we becoming the poster childs for it?
Yeah.
I find that to be extremely problematic.
Yeah. The reason why I asked you that is because in the news just recently, we've had a horrible string of things happening with women. You know, men are usually prone to violence in some capacity.
Or so we're told.
Or so we're told. And mind you, masculinity is not predicated upon violence. So a lot of times people say, oh, you know, that's toxic masculinity. You know, masculinity is a man handling his responsibility. That's masculinity in my opinion.
It is.
What makes a man is his responsibility and also keeping your word and your level of integrity.
His nature and is accountability a part of his nature.
That's right. Absolutely. Handling what he's supposed to handle in regards to his families and his responsibilities. An Ohio woman was charged with murder after sickening and stunning vehicular homicide outside of a Kroger caught on video. We're going to show that video pretty soon, but I want to give you guys some more information on that, okay? Some of you may already know about it. We're going to talk about that because I believe that falls under the 304 category because a 304 woman would think that she can do whatever she want to do without any type of accountability.
Without any sort of repercussions at all. Yeah.
Absolutely. So an Ohio woman has been indicted on numerous charges related to vehicular attack that left one person dead and another injured. Tavia Chapman, 24, stands accused of 1 count of aggravated murder, 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, 1 count of attempted murder, and 1 count of endangering children, according to the Hamilton County prosecuting attorney. A bare-bones indictment obtained by Law and Crime recounts each of the 7 charges. Okay, so basically what happened was, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Tavia, it might be Tavia.
Tavia.
Oh, Tavia. I think it's Tavia. I think that's right. Tavia was with her boyfriend, Jawan, okay? And she got into his phone. When he went into the store, he left his phone in the van, and she saw text messages from another woman who happened to be her sister. Okay, and so with that, she got extremely angry, and she ran into the store and started screaming and yelling at him. You know, it says. I know it talks about that. She went into the she went into the supermarket and basically she started screaming and yelling at him and everything and getting into it with him. And then she went back out to the van. When she goes back out to the van, it says authorities allege that Chapman, and it's not an allegement. I mean, we see it on the video. I'm gonna show it. She drove her car into Christopher Griffith, who was an older white male who was crippled and walking with a cane. He had just gotten over an accident, and he did it. His name. He was 58 years old, and he was walking into the Kroger, and she plowed into both of them. Okay, then she jumped out of the car to continue her attack of her boyfriend, who happens to be her baby daddy. Now, the thing about that that was really, really bad was that her 8-month baby was in the car when she did all of this, okay? So why don't we show the video, because the video explains probably a lot more than what I'm saying at this point, okay? And warning, if you're weak, and there's no blood or anything, but it's just
a little graphic.
It's graphic, in a way. So
violent.
Yeah. So you can see this is him here, and he's like, "What? Wow, bow!" And it always stops. I haven't seen any footage that shows this was the 58-year-old man, and this was her after careening into them. She gets out, runs up to him, and starts wailing on him, beating the hell out of him.
She is out of fucking control.
I mean, if you look even closer, she actually hits him one time in the groin. His leg was broken, by the way, when she was doing all of this. Look, that's where she's hitting him in the groin. I mean, just going in. Now, mind you, the whole time the baby's in the car after she did this. Just working on him. And then she finally...
disgusting behavior.
Yeah. Look, and she's screaming at him. She runs back into the car. Now, at this point, the van is not working anymore. She can't back out. She can't move it.
Yeah, the radiator's probably shot.
The engine is...
The oil pan probably dropped. Yeah.
Yeah. She probably even crashed into this and then bounced off and went here. Because you never really see what happens after. And this is the old man here, the 58-year-old man. Mind you, when stuff like this happens, most of the time you're on your own. Look, she grabbed the baby, then she runs out. So that was her way of getting away at that point. Grabbing the baby and then runs out. I mean, just unreal.
That's fucking insane.
Just unreal to see that. Here again, he's here. Bow!
God damn, man.
And when you see something like that, what... You know what I'm saying? I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm just the audacity.
The insanity of it.
The insanity.
It's fucking maniacal, dude.
And I've been seeing that a lot. I mean, people hitting people with cars. It's more now than ever. So the question is, does that fall under a 304 person? In my opinion, it does.
I think it's a part of the spirit of the culture.
Yes.
Or the spirit of the 304 culture, in that they're not thinking of any sort of ramifications for reacting to their emotions. I don't even think that's an emotional response. I think that this is someone who just truly justified in their mind. This is just what I'm gonna do. Nothing can happen to me because of my actions, because of how I feel about this, or because of what I've decided. Because of what he did. Watching silly shit like the Tyler Perry movies and the grit ball bullshit and all of that kind of absolute foolishness. These girls grow up watching this kind of stupid shit being justified, and it's fucking reckless, man.
Yeah.
It's not. It really is inexcusable, and I should hope, number one, in our own community, that there is no one even attempting to justify that. There's so many different fucking words I could throw at that, man. That was fucking unreasonable, bro.
Horrible. And so
that's more than an impulse.
Yeah. That's the issue. People think that that's an impulse. It's not an impulse. It is a total disregard for human life. I mean, her 8-month baby, her 8-month-year-old baby was in the car. I mean, we've seen videos where mothers abuse and kill their children on live, Instagram Live, and on video because they're mad at the baby daddy or their boyfriend or whatever. Or they kill someone else's child that, it's not even, they didn't birth it, but they're being paternal mothers at this point because they're surrogates in a sense and taking care of his child and torturing the baby and stuff like that. Yeah. That's a whole tendency in a sense, in a different mind, in my mind.
That's why I said I think that the spirit of it, and the spirit of it all is, I don't have to follow any sort of social construct. I don't have to adhere to any sort of guidance, any sort of order or structure. Mm-hmm. And that's an insane mindset. Mm-hmm. Absolutely insane mindset to even be able to justify in your mind that I can do whatever I want to anyone, anywhere, at any time, however I see fit. Mm-hmm. That's insane. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely insane. I can't even begin to break that down.
Do you think that's a learned behavior? Do you think it's something that's passed down from the family?
Well, like I said, man, they're growing up watching this silly shit. This is a result of, again, you know, shoot me if you like, but Tyler Perry is an awful influence
I agree. Yeah.
Of the extreme side of black culture and behaviors and emotional responses. The internet, Instagram, and you know, all of social media encouraging this type of fucking foul
behavior,
you know,
for clouts and likes,
because everything has gotten to a bit of an animated
over the top
reality for a lot of these people. We're talking about kids growing up and all the, you know, they're growing up on tablets and cell phones and you know, a majority of their media, like even like what was it, like the She-Hulk thing? Wasn't she like twerking or some silly ass shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck does that have to do with what a comic book superhero character?
Someone said, "I believe your thoughts are the majority. I'd like to believe that, but I may be wrong."
Well, the majority of what?
Yeah, can you elaborate on that a little bit, Pearson? Because we're a little confused on that. That segues to me into I've been seeing a lot of women going into these restaurants, you know. I mean, there are men that do it too, but a lot of these women going into restaurants, jumping on the counter, going behind the counter, just swinging on people at restaurants and people who are customers, and, you know, I'm mad at you and you messed up my order, my French fries. Did you hear about the one where the son got put in prison?
Or he killed the guy behind the counter over his mom's cold fries.
Cold fries, and then another one did get killed for, you know, defending his mom as well.
Yeah.
How do we help? Because here at Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking, for us, it's always about taking things to a perspective to where we can. Hopefully, if someone's watching this, they may be a 304 person, or they may be someone who feels if you feel that these people are truly justified in their actions,
please chime in.
Chime in, yeah.
Or if you believe that there's maybe a piece of their side that we're not really acknowledging or we're missing or overlooking, you know, definitely. Go ahead and chime in, you know, whether you comment or do we want people calling in? Or,
call in, comment. Yeah.
Go ahead and request to join the live, or you can call the call-in number, which is 404-997-2188. I'll add that to the chat as well.
Yeah. All of this stuff is highly disturbing. And it's crazy, you know, to the extent of there's a video that one of these days we will definitely be getting more into. We weren't able to get it up today, but it shows that back in the 80s it was moving towards that, right? The report that we
this was 1965, the Moynihan report.
The Moynihan report, that was 65?
Was 1965, and I wish I could remember the original one that I seen that was from about the 20s, and it was showing black sharecroppers, where the black mothers and the fathers were really the dynamic was nearly identical from the 20s. On sharecropping plants, you know, and the children growing up as latchkey kids on you know, whatever the hell, I guess they lived in shacks or cabins or whatever during that time, but from the 20s, 1965, the 80s, mid to late 90s, the early 2000s, and now here we are.
Yeah.
In my opinion, not only have things not changed in our favor, they've actually gotten a lot worse.
Yeah. Welcome to the live Team PBA.
Hold on, we have a request.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see. Just a moment. This is my goddaughter, Jacqueline.
Okay. Welcome, Jacqueline. Hey, Jacqueline, how you doing?
Is this thing up?
Hey, gorgeous. Welcome to Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking. Yes, we can.
Yes, ma'am.
What's on your mind, sweetie? Oh, she's got something on the wall she's showing you.
Yeah, it's my goal.
Good.
That's awesome.
So what do you think about the topic?
Yeah.
Honestly, I just dealing with school today and going to school every day is just like the same behavior, like just sitting in a classroom and no one responding to the teacher. Like the teacher's teaching you something and you're not responding. Like they're trying to help us and we're not helping them as responding or answering the question as they ask. And it's just like nowadays, like in school, no one's taking accountability for their actions. Like just sitting in the classroom and just sitting there. Like speak, like use your voice, and nobody just knows how to speak up anymore.
Melvin talks about the same thing.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about Melvin Covington. He's a school teacher here in Augusta, Georgia. How do you handle that? Because that has to be a form of stress that I know if you're someone who really wants to learn and you want to apply yourself. And I know you have, some of these people are your friends or they're people that you have to incorporate time with. How do you handle it? You personally, how do you handle that?
And first, can we acknowledge what grade are you in where you're seeing these same behaviors?
I'm a junior. I'm in 11th grade. I'm 16, and I'll be 17 in a month and a half.
Okay.
Okay.
So these are 15, 16, and probably 17-year-olds behaving unreasonably and unmannered. But go ahead and how do you handle that?
Like today, I was sitting in my first period.
You might have to spin it.
I feel like the energy and the vibe was just off. Like I was sitting there and I was just like what's going on? Like what's this behavior? And they were giggling, gaggling, like, and the teacher's just trying to teach. And like I have to like tell myself like I need to calm down. Like I need to like woosah, like balance myself because and push away from the negative energy because like I was ready to get out of my seat and go outside.
They're completely detracting from the rest of the class's inability or the rest of the class's ability to even take their own education serious and receive anything from the teacher is what it sounds like.
Are you aware of who the 304s are in your class? Like you have an idea of who those people will probably end up becoming? Yeah.
And I told my teacher, I told her today, because me and her have a, bond, and I was just like, I just can't do it. Not sure with that energy, and just not good.
So how do you supplement your knowledge and education and your instruction? How do you supplement that?
Usually, wait, after class?
Yes.
Say, hey, I have this questions, or hey, can you help me with this? And like, if the teacher's giving instruction in the beginning of the classroom, I listen and I respect it. If I have a personal question or which is not unnecessary to speak out, then I just wait. At the end and like.
Yeah, because you can't fight them all,
No way.
and it's
No way.
definitely not your responsibility to get them in order.
Yeah, we're definitely living in a different time. I mean, when I was going to school, and I'm not going to tell my age too much, but when I was going to school, we had class clowns. Okay, someone, maybe one or two people who would act up in class. I feel for everyone involved in the school system, from the students up to the teachers now, because how many people are actually in your class? Is it more than 20?
It's about 25 to 30.
Wow.
Depending on the class. Yeah, we have a lot of students.
Wow.
I like school is like very diverse. It's Indian. Like there's people coming from India that doesn't speak no English. Like, and we have to help them.
And this is what they're experiencing in the American school system, or our people who represent us acting like what they're, the broad running over her baby daddy in a grocery store parking lot. That's really unfortunate. Extremely unfortunate. Damn. I'm sorry that that's what you're dealing with. Like I've told you, just definitely keep your head in the books and just stay focused on what your goal is. Future Air Force member.
Hey.
So,
Thank you.
keep on the steady path, and do not allow yourself to fall into the same pattern. We're gonna take some more calls, but thank you for joining.
I applaud you. Thank you.
I don't know how to kick you off. You got I'm old. All right.
Wow. Hearing it from the youth is always tough.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, man. And again, we're talking about 15, 16, and 17-year-olds exhibiting the same sort of behavior as that woman or young lady. She's only 24, and she's talking about 7 felony charges.
Oh yeah, her
multiple
bail,
counts of murder.
Her bail was $500,000, $500,000.
I'm surprised it was that low, to be honest with you.
Yeah, $500,000.
Very surprised it was that low.
Yeah. Well, it's probably because the legal system is different with women. We talked about that.
Yeah,
it is different with women. I mean, had that been a man, he would be under.
He probably wouldn't have bail.
No. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's distressing. Let's talk about we're not so much gossipers, but we're going to talk about Nia Long.
Okay.
Nia Long. I know this is a little different than the 304 situation, but anytime you're dealing with relationships, you have different things that's happening. And Nia Long has been in the news lately in regards to her boyfriend. And,
her fiance.
Her fiance.
8 years.
Of 8 years. And I wanted to use this. There's a brother who is he writes articles and stuff and on social media, and he had wrote something today that I found very interesting, but at the same time I was just like, oh yeah, I'm not really feeling what you're saying, but this is going to be a little controversial, but we're going to read some of this because it's a lot that he wrote, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. No, you're not going to be able to see it, but I'll read some of it and get an idea of that because
No, I'm actually look. I've been holding on, man, but I gotta run to the bathroom.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna be on my own for a second, but it's all good.
We got somebody who wanted to join, so they have something to.
Please, yeah, yeah.
Okay, just a moment. Oh, it's Eric. The Mexican Eric. Oh, boy. Welcome, an Air Force veteran. Excuse me, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's going on, Eric? Welcome to the show. How can we what's going on? What's on your mind?
So, kind of something that's been bothering me. So I have a sister. She's 25.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little younger than me. And I think a lot that's going on lately is a little bit of the 304 culture, but I think a lot of it has to do with the people that they're around, the toxic people that are around them. They can kind of hype them up to get to that point. I had a sister who she just split up with her baby daddy, and she's they're going back and forth, and she's bad mouthing him on Facebook. And I know both sides of the story. I listen to both because as much as she's my sister, I can't.
Oh, I think we lost you. Call back, Eric, please. Call back. I think the call dropped. It started sounding interesting what you were talking about, but I'm pretty sure we can definitely give a perspective on that. Welcome everybody that's signing in, that is joining with us now. Once again, we was talking about Nia Long, and if Eric calls back, we'll jump back on what that topic is that he's talking about in regards to the 304. We're moving into our second hour, but right now we're going to be talking about this Nia Long situation. And there was something that someone had wrote on Instagram and Facebook, and I thought it was very interesting. I wanted to use that example. He reported that Celtics coach Emi Udoka, the father of Nia Long's child, suspended having a Love Jones work affair with. I guess he was trying to be funny. A Love Jones. He got disconnected, so he should be calling back.
Okay.
A Love Jones work affair with his.
Ready.
He's ready. Okay. All right. Let's take Eric back. Okay. So Eric's basically talking about his sister and the situation that he's going through. Go ahead, Eric. We're here.
It should be joining. Oh, that's my bad. I did it wrong.
Fingers light on the touch, brother.
I'm a martial artist. Or maybe, I don't know, that shit might be tripping out.
You probably got to press it harder.
I mean, we talking about touch screen.
There you go.
Is it joining?
No, doesn't look like it.
Well, you know, it is what it is.
Why don't you call? Call and chime in on the?
Yeah, I'll throw you in there.
Yeah. Oh, I think this is him here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. That's 909. That's
Yes, this is Eric. Okay,
cool.
we got you. So, Eric, let's go. What's on your mind, brother? You were talking. Hello. And I lost him on that.
Well, Eric, you know what I'm saying? You need to get your phone together, brother.
It might be his connection in the area he's in.
You supposed to be a systems administrator. Come on, bro.
Okay, so back to what I was saying. Celtics coach Emi, is it Emi or Imi? Emi Udoka, the father of Nia Long's child, suspended having. Oh, he's the father of her child.
I didn't know they had children.
I didn't either. Oh, that's Eric again.
Unknown.
Come on,
All right, Eric. One more
It's
time.
your last
Here we go.
chance.
All right, are you
To
there,
accept,
Eric?
press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, you probably have to push 1 to accept him.
Or do I? Hello, Eric.
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay.
Oh, it's in the headphones.
Yeah. Okay, Eric. Can you hear us?
able to.
So, like I was saying, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, it is on Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, so my sister and him, my sister.
Her baby daddy go back and forth, but I think a lot of it has to do with the people that they're around. My sister is getting hyped up by these girls saying, "Oh, he ain't nothing but a piece of shit." You know, going back and forth and just bad mouthing him. You know, he's not my brother-in-law or anything like that, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But she feeds into this stuff, and she's talking bad about him. But I know both sides of the story. You know, he wasn't the only one at the time. They split up because of cheating and stuff. But
On both sides,
up,
both parties were
both
cheating.
sides. So nobody was innocent in this situation.
Okay.
But I think a lot of it has to do with the people that you're around and the toxic people that hype you up to these terrible ideas that you don't need this person in your life and, I'm better without him. Well, no, he was, nobody was innocent in this.
Mm-hmm.
Both parties were, in the wrong here.
You're saying,
I think a lot of the 3 or 4 culture has to be, deals with the people that you're around and the people that really, bring that side out of, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question. Does your sister's friends, and if you know, do her friends have significant others?
I think it's the same thing with them. Again, you birds of a feather flock together kind of thing.
Right.
They have kids, they're not with their baby daddies kind of thing.
Well,
Or maybe misery loves company, one of the two.
So is your question, how do you handle something like that?
So the question, I can see the hypocrisy in it. Knowing both sides of the story, I can see that. Is there something that maybe I could tell her to get her to chill out? Because it's not healthy for their daughter to see this, especially whenever, the mother is, bad mouthing the father. It shouldn't happen. Even back in 2017, I was going through a rough patch with my significant other, my wife. We're, still together to this day. We
Good
had
for
some
you.
troubles, but never in my right mind. As much as, we had our stuff going on, never in my right mind would it, come to my mind to ever talk bad about my my wife to my child because they don't need that. They need, even if you weren't together, they need your children need a support group, and to badmouth one or the other is not going to help that child in any way. And I think the people that surround them, that feed this mentality, is what the real problem is.
So
but I don't know what I should.
Yeah,
say to my,
can I ask you a question? Have you spoken to her before at all about the situation?
Yeah, I have, and I've shown her the hypocrisy. But you can't be mad at him for this. You can't talk crap to him about this whenever you were doing the exact same thing. And whenever she's with me, she understands that. It's when she's with her female friends that are like, oh, he's nothing but, trash or this or that.
They're putting a battery in her back
really
and hyping her up.
And that's when she, gets on him about it, whenever they're separated and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would say, dude, honestly, man, the best thing that you can do is, because people like that are, and more than likely in her own mind, she's above rehabilitation and above counsel even too. The best thing you can do, man, is when you can give your niece, help balance it out. Show her what the difference is. That's about the best thing that you can do, because you're not gonna stop her from acting as she sees fit. It's gonna take a bigger reality check, and for most parents, male or female, mother or father, that typically comes when the child becomes of age 16 and above, where then they begin to form their own opinions because they see reality differently. Assuming that they get out of that environment, and hopefully she does.
Yeah. Is she open to therapy?
My sister, and Chapman knows, like I said, I'm Mexican. Therapy isn't something that we normally do.
Understood.
That's
not an option.
An occurrence in Mexican culture is going to therapy. Therapy is a corona. So.
Okay. What about the niece, your niece? Is she someone that, if you, and the reason why I'm explaining this to you is because I gave this to somebody that I knew because they were dealing with a heavy divorce. And I said, your daughter needs therapy. And he was like, what do you mean? And he was Mexican. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, listen, just because she's not acting out doesn't mean she won't.
Doesn't mean she's not feeling it.
Right. And so the reason we're pretty much saying that the child is most important, because listen, you never know, your sister could grow up, because that's the phrase that I tell adult people who behave badly. Grow up, grow the fuck up, grow up. And that's anybody watching this show. If you're a 304 or you feel like the world owes you something, or you feel like you do whatever you want to do, grow up, because there's rules, there's regulations, there's discipline. Do you think that's a possibility? If she won't do therapy.
If she's of age, how old is she? Your niece,
She's
that
25.
is. No, your niece.
My niece, she's 3. She's
Oh,
still
well.
real young and impressionable.
Yeah. Well, maybe in a year or two, definitely be on the lookout of that. Is there a way that what do you have common ground in when it comes to your sister? Like your family, you and your wife, and what do you have common ground with her?
When it comes to my sister, it's really just talking about our children. But so my sister, unfortunately, before she had this child, which she was a gift from God, really. My sister had a couple miscarriages. Her body couldn't handle the children at the time. It took an act of God and science to have the child she has now. And so we talked about our kids. And the thing is that since she had those 2 miscarriages, she handled her daughter with like gloves. She's very, very cautious about her. She doesn't want to. She basically makes her live in a bubble. You know what I mean? She's like very overprotective of her daughter, and I understand that. as a parent, I understand, you wanting your child to be safe and everything like that, and giving them everything that they want. But a child, 9 times out of 10, and this comes from a child who, myself, is an adopted person. I was adopted at a young age by my aunt and uncle. A child needs their parents, and sometimes that isn't the case, and it can't be the case just because the parents can't get along. But a child needs both of them, and they don't need one talking crap about the other and putting their opinions on the child whenever the child has the right to their own opinions. And I think that whenever you have, like I said, when you have those females that are telling the mom, "Oh, he's nothing but a piece of crap," they're feeding this mentality. It affects the child. They don't realize that even outside people are affecting the mother, which affects the child. So it's a trickle down thing. And so I do talk to my niece. I tell her I love her. I show her love, but at the same time, just with every child, I'm also I'm a very black and white kind of parent. If you do wrong,
Hey, Farley.
I'm going to let you know you did wrong.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. And of course, if therapy is not something that is applicable in a situation, you will have to do the best as being an uncle and pick up the weight.
Just counteract it and balance it out with love, man.
Yeah.
And, show her love from a different perspective at a young age.
Yeah, and your sister, she's in her 20s. Like, if she was in her 30s, then I would be highly concerned. But I think she still has some growing up to do. And I'm a little bit more optimistic in regards to, I'm not so nihilistic as thinking that there's no chance that she may change. Because I've seen it happen. You brought up some things that I think can be a catalyst in regards to how she thinks about things. A lot of times people hold a level of embitterment and they carry that. And, the answer is your niece. I think reminding her of being what it is to be a good parent and leading by example, definitely leading by example. Right. She may surprise you. I think, it's very early still. And it's sad that you have to go to an extreme to be able to analyze it in its full depth. But right now, she's still in her 20s, man. Most women don't grow up until their late 30s. They don't mature until their late 30s when they're ready to really be who they need to be. And then there's that small percentage that never grows up. Yeah.
No, and I know she still has time to, grow up and, get her stuff together. I give her that. She's still a young mom. Like I said, I've been doing it my oldest is going on 9 years next year.
Congratulations.
So I've been doing it a while. Yeah, I know. Thank you.
I pray for parents.
And it bothers me to see that because I went through the same thing and I told her, I was like, look, this isn't good for, my niece's name is Zoe. Like, this isn't good for Zoe to see both of you going back and forth at each other. Like, you guys need to find some common ground. I was like, you need to stop listening to these females that are bitter towards their baby daddy, and that's going to, affect your daughter later on. Like, they don't see long term. They only see right now, and that's unfortunate.
Is he an upstanding guy?
So I can't say that. I can't say that either. Like I said, they both cheated. They both resented each other, and they both separated.
Is he in Zoe's life? That's the question pretty much that I'm asking. Is if they don't get along, is he in Zoe's life?
So he is when she lets him.
Ooh.
So it's kind of one of those things.
Yeah, that's rough.
He's a good father, not a good husband kind of thing.
Right. And he's young too, I presume, right?
Be separated.
Is he in his 20s as well?
He's in his 20s as well. They graduated high school together, stayed together after high school kind of thing.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough, man. It's one of those things. It is one of those things. So, I agree with what Antonio said, man. Just be there as much as you possibly can for your niece, because really, in the end, she's the future, and she's really all that matters.
Right.
They're gonna work their situation out the way they need to work it out. But Zoe's got to have a running head start.
Yeah, you just got to show her love, man, from a different perspective, brother. That's all you can do, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I thought that it's not always just the female in front of you that's causing this. It can be the little voices that are telling you.
Oh, absolutely.
Her counsel, yeah.
Yeah, a flock of them.
I'm about to say it.
A flock of them. And you can't do anything about it because she has to be the one to change her environment and the people in it. You know? I mean, just like we heard from, she in school, she doesn't hang out with the 304 girls. She's like, I can't focus and concentrate because
can't even get her education.
Yeah. So, yeah, thanks for calling in. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Good talking to you guys.
You got it.
Likewise.
All right. So, yeah, let's move on to this Nia Long thing.
All right.
If you're watching now, we're moving on from the 304 chicks. We're gonna move into the Nia Long situation and talk a little bit about that. But this guy, he had wrote this, and I thought it was very interesting because by the third paragraph, you're going to have something to say. Trust me when I tell you this.
All right.
All right.
See.
All right. So Celtics coach Ime Udoka, the father of Nia Long's child, suspended. I guess it's saying he was suspended having a Love Jones work affair with his coworker. This is a bigger L than him losing NBA Finals to the Warriors and Steph Curry single-handedly. This follows Udoka's previously proposing to Nia Long, but why? Unhealed men have work affairs and cheat on successful women. To take power from her if he's unhealed and jealous of, now mind you, this is a man saying this, and jealous of her worth and shine, in capital letters. He hopes cheating makes her question her worth as his inadequacies make him question his. It's not about money. If you're an unhealed man feels you have more success than him or get more likes, attention, headlines, or envies your inner light, they will cheat on you, hoping to break you down to the low level of insecurity he feels every time he looks at your inner light and accomplishments. The joke is on him because you can never eclipse the light of a divinely favored, successful woman and man. So it's odd that he gets into the second paragraph and then he adds man at the end of that when he's talking about the man cheating on the woman. Third paragraph, this is the one that really got me. Cheating and having his woman as the backup plan makes a weak man's fear of rejection go away. They cheat to have the nothing to lose confidence of approaching a fine woman while already having a fine, loyal woman in their monogamous relationship. Healed, confident men don't need to cheat. He can pull any woman he wants while single by stimulating her mind with mental penetration, pineal gland activation, and make her pulsate with that energy. Should I continue? you got, man, I'll do one more paragraph.
Just whatever it is.
Yeah, this is comedy. I hope y'all listening to this. This is somebody that puts out information, and all right. If he's jealous of your degrees, jealous of your own money, jealous of your mental depth, jealous you make his homies laugh and are funny. If he's jealous of you, always correct. We gotta have this guy on the show. Always correcting him or says, you think you're always right. It means he's envious of your divine purpose, your millionaire potential, your inner light. Does it sound like he's looking to get followers, man?
He sounds like Derrick Jackson, man.
Yes.
This is.
Yes, who is a 304? Derrick Jackson is a male 304.
What is this fool's name?
Okay, his name is Abraham Asim.
Of Boston, Massachusetts.
Of Boston, Massachusetts. If anybody knows him, please have him call in so we can dispute this and go back and forth.
That's a clown-ass dude, man. He, this is the thing. And because I see this a lot for men and women. You are a reflection of your partner at least. Whether that means that they're a mirror image of your behavior or they're a result of behaviors that you allow or encourage or have not corrected. Someone somewhere in that relationship is not standing on the square that they're supposed to be on. They're not offering the sort of guidance that they're supposed to be. There's so many different to try to box it into. Those sound like personal scenarios that he fucking made up, man, or some shit that he experienced himself. Like it, man.
But
there's no room to even give niggas like him attention, dude. That was a really, and he took his time to write all of that. Y'all don't know if y'all could see it, but that was a long ass, like, he wrote a dissertation on that silly ass shit, man. Just no.
Bo Emerson said, "Poor Abraham."
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that nigga, man, hell no. Whatever he's talking about, just no. That was foolish.
Yeah,
that was a lot of conjecture and projection from things that he probably either personally experienced or, like you were saying, this, he's hoping. Maybe he's hoping that Nia Long's gonna read it and somehow that's gonna get him the pussy, and it's not. It's not gonna happen, bro.
Yeah, Nia Long has been linked with Chris Webber, Peter Thomas, Ricky Fenty, 50 Cent, T.I., Dwight Freeney, Katino Mobley, Kevin Phillips, and Massey Dorsey. She's engaged to Emmy. She's been with different guys in the industry.
She's about 52 years old.
Yeah, she's up there in age. I mean, let's see.
Is that 42 or 52?
No,
I don't want to be unfair.
52.
I think that is 52.
That's 52. Yeah. She at one point was definitely one of the hottest women in Hollywood because of the films that she was in, Boys in the Hood and stuff like that. A lot of men still to this day enjoy who she is. She's a very beautiful woman, without a doubt. But it even says Twitter throws in full support behind Nia Long over alleged Emmy Udoka affair. Listen, this same thing happened with Halle Berry when Halle Berry was, going through her man relationships. They were always blaming the men. They blamed, Justice. They blamed Eric Benet. They blamed, all the men. They always blamed the men. And they never looked at what is it that she could be doing wrong to make these men have this situation.
Yeah, it's not like there was this 30-year relationship and then the shit fell apart because this nigga's being an asshole. We're talking about somebody who's been married. What was that? 5? That was at least 4 times over. You know what I'm saying? Married and divorced 4 times over.
Aubrey, yeah.
And even to that, we don't even know. All we know is what we see on screen. This is a fucking actress, dude. We don't know how she is in her personal life. We don't know what her actual personality is like. It's like, yeah, I don't even.
What happened?
She says something about her I guess one of her encounters with Eric Benet. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever that may or may not have been, but. We're romanticizing these people as if they're not humans.
Yeah,
they fuck up too, and I'm talking about celebrities, not just her, but
let's stay on Abraham for a second.
Yeah, of course.
Men and or women cheat for attention and because they want to. Period. That's my thought process. It's not a thing of you're lacking something. If you cheat. For some people, they don't believe in the word cheat. They don't believe in cheating.
I'm one of those people.
Okay.
I don't think that shit exists.
And I'm game for whatever people need to get through the day. For me, a man is not going to cheat or step out on his relationship with a woman to embarrass the woman. That's not any. It's not your objective because. To do that says that you hate that person. Anytime you embarrass that person or you do something maliciously to make that person publicly feel bad, you shouldn't have been with that person in the first place. So as a celebrity, your life is open. You know, people don't realize that. They feel like they have a private life, but there's always someone who wants to know what's going on in your life.
So this is the thing. We gotta be clear about this. There's a difference between celebrities and regular people as far as exposure goes.
Yes.
So you're talking about how their relationships are handled versus how the normal person's relationships are handled. We got to be clear about that, because the average person's life just does not compare to what it is that a famous person is subjected to. So let's make sure that we're not promoting that we should be comparing our lives and you know what we're dealing with to what they're dealing with. It's nowhere near the same.
Right.
So for you, if you're somebody, nigga, maybe you're in college and you're in a relationship with a guy and he cheats on you, or you cheated on him, guess what? The world does not know who you people are.
Yeah, it could care less, actually.
Get over yourself, deal with the relationship, or go to a new one, or set up new boundaries in the relationship, whatever the fuck it is. You're not Nia Long. You know what I'm saying? And the nigga is not whoever. He's a Celtics coach, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We're not those people.
Mm-hmm.
So that has to be understood. Where the world is not going to know who you are. You're not going to be embarrassed, because a lot of people have that complex that they're that visible. The world does not know who you are.
Yeah.
Keep living your life normally.
Abraham says, men don't cheat for variety. Men don't cheat because he has more access to women. Men don't cheat because his woman is the problem. If she was the problem, he would break up with her, in capital letters. He cheats because of himself, not his woman. If cheating were about variety or sex, he'd stay single and have sex with as many women as he wants. He stays in a relationship and cheats to siphon his woman's energy, using her pain as as energy to build up low confidence to approach lesser women he fetishizes. This won't work on a healed woman. Her discernment senses predators. What is he talking about?
We're dealing with a fucking wordsmith, man. You know, it's great. He's excellent with his words, and he's painting these pictures. But at the end of the day, this is it. Human behavior is so dynamic. There are a myriad of factors that play into how we interact with one another romantically, how we interact with one another in a friendship, how we interact with one another professionally, even just in passing, in the regular day. You know what I'm saying? Man, what he's trying to pinpoint is just fucking foolish. The way that he's going about it. And we got a join request.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring somebody in.
This is Lay the Muse.
Lay the Muse, yes. We owe you some time, Lady Muse. Thanks for coming in. What do you have to add to the situation once you're in?
Hi.
Hey, you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
We
Welcome
can hear
to
you.
Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking. What do you have to add to the conversation?
Well, as a woman who recently cheated on her man, in June, but no, I'm kidding. All jokes aside.
Why is it showing over there, but it's not showing over here?
I don't know if that's like,
It's on the mic.
because I know people that have taken people back when they knew that the person cheated. So it's like, where do you go from there when someone cheats? Especially when it's public like this. I mean, I was on Twitter yesterday and I didn't know why Nia Long was trending, and then I saw it and I was like,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of subjective. I mean, I do.
Did we lose her?
They cut her out. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that over
Sorry,
here.
Lay. Please hit back.
Don't just if you could just go ahead and call in.
Yeah. Call the number if possible as well. We're having issues.
Yeah, I think Instagram just glitches out at a certain point, because it is a long ass broadcast.
Not an issue. We'll keep moving. So yeah, like I said, it's definitely somebody. Men cheat on successful women to take power from her. So wait a minute. So he's not successful?
Humans do what fucking humans do. His goal here is to attack men publicly on social media because
build his status?
Because it's gonna garner him attention. I mean, look at the attention we're giving him. Trust me, if not for the purpose of having an open discussion here on the show, dude, like I would have seen this and scrolled right by it.
Yeah, I just thought it was something that was hilarious that we needed to probably
for this fool to even. I'm saying in general the amount of attention that he's getting for it. You know, obviously he's getting the attention that he was fishing for. This is shit he probably doesn't. Yeah,
he's got 527 comments, 701 shares.
That's all a fucking fishing match. Is what he's going for here, man. These people attempting to empathize with and relate to rich people, not even rich, but these people have way more attention than most of us will ever receive. Mm-hmm. How can we offer them counsel? How can we offer them what they should or shouldn't do, not knowing what their actual relationship is? A lot of these people have arranged relationships and marriages, and it's just man, yeah.
Yeah, and so to back up exactly what you're saying, this guy Matthew says, for all we know, she treated him like shit behind closed doors, in which case he should have just left, but that's their business. Holly weird.
Business. Their fucking business.
But so he goes back and he retorts to him. So this guy was going in. Matthew hit the key word. He should have left her if he's unhappy instead of cheating on her. But unhealed men stay with women they're unhappy
oh, that's that nigga again. Dude.
When he has abandonment issues or self-loathing issues, as if he knows. So Matthew came back and said, many men stay in unhappy relationships because they know they'll be taken for everything they ever worked for. And at their age, they can't get it back. That is very common too. Not an excuse for cheating, but let's not pretend we don't have a system fair to men in that regard.
So my mentor, he's my IT mentor, I like to say, from when I was in the Air Force. I just talked to him the other night, but he married a woman from the Philippines. It's either Thailand or the Philippines, I forget. But he's been married to her for almost 20-something years now. And the only reason he has not divorced her, because she is an awful person. I've seen it. I've seen it myself. Mm-hmm. We spent many holidays together. The only reason he hasn't divorced her is because if he does, she gets half of his military retirement.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And that's fucking insane because he hasn't made it where she has had to work. She barely knows English outside of speaking to him because he's made her life that luxurious over the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So, again, of course, there's an unfair system when it comes to monogamy and you know the contract, because it is a contract, the contract of marriage between two people. You know, and under the American government, man. It's a fucking uphill battle, dude. It's completely unpredictable. There's no guarantee either way, and that's why having dudes like this who want to throw like he's some sort of expert and he figured out the formula and exactly how it goes.
It's the pineal gland.
Like, dude, get the fuck out of here, man, please.
Barney Jackson said, "Marriage is
very
the
exhausting.
Worst. Marriage is the worst business decision for a man in most cases."
It is a contract. Again, that's not wordplay coming from Farley. It's a fucking contract. So it's definitely a business decision.
And then he said, it's funny you say that. On the contrary, marriage is the best business decision for most women.
That's what it's supposed to be. Women's existence, primally, is hypergamous. Mm-hmm. That's their main focus, even in nature, for the most part. Obviously, there's an exception to every rule. Mm-hmm. There are different animals where the woman is the leader and all of that kind of bullshit, but by far and large, the female's existence is hypergamy. Mm-hmm. She's supposed to find someone who has the ability to gain and maintain the most resources because it's less intensive on her life. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. That's not a bad thing. That's not, I'm not saying that's anything to frown upon, but we have to call attention to what is the not even I won't even call it a natural order, but it's a fucking instinct. Mm-hmm. This is what we do. This is what we have done for millenniums over. And to pretend like right now, this is where I get into my disgust with the human ego. We really think that we're gonna defeat nature itself? Mm-hmm. That's insane. Mm-hmm. And then that's what happens. We get motherfuckers like this, man, access to the internet and thinking that his opinion is whatever, man. Mm-hmm. Just yeah. It genuinely disgusts me, and that's why you were right. I get really annoyed with this kind of shit, man.
Yeah. Well, it's sometimes good to talk about because there are a lot of people out there that think like how Abraham thinks, and that's why I brought it up as
there are people who genuinely believe this. I think he's playing a fucking game for social media, but unfortunately, there are people who genuinely, maybe not in these exact words, but that's the reality that they accept and that they live in and live by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely is looking for followers, and he'll probably get it from this. It's finding the right thing to talk about for some people.
It's inflated and followers, whatever, dude.
So we don't know the whole story, and
we'll never know it.
It's none of our business.
whether famous, poor, or otherwise, we'll never know what the hell it is that's honestly going on between two people.
Right.
Two sides to every story.
Right.
Or
let
three
me ask,
sides.
Let me ask you a question before we move on. How does it make you feel when society usually takes the side of women, because that's what's going on with this situation?
That gets into what I was just talking about, man. We're talking about the hypergamy thing, dude. Like, and not to mention just because she's rich and everybody wants their opportunity.
And I honestly don't think she's more rich than him.
More than likely not. Mm-hmm. But
she's an actor.
People want to. Everybody wants the opportunity to have sex with somebody who was a sex symbol.
True.
I say this all the time. Hollywood wants Jennifer Lopez to be 20 years old so
forever.
Fucking bad, dude.
Yeah, forever, yeah.
And she's just not. Halle Berry is not fucking 20 years old. What is it? It's like Bruised or some shit, whatever that Netflix, the MMA movie she just did. Uh-huh. Like, nigga, she's not going to be 21 again, man. They got to let that shit go. Uh-huh. But that's how, because of the production quality and, the tricks of media and film, they make it where these people still appear like they did fucking 20, 30, and 40 years ago, and that's not who and what they are. It never will be again. But so people get caught up in that, and they want the opportunity to maybe be recognized by these famous people. Maybe they want the opportunity to have sex with them, and there's so many different things or so many different variables going on with the human psyche when it comes to shit like this, dude. It's pointless to even try to attempt to pinpoint it here in one sitting with our 2-hour time limit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just fuck that, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, more power to you, Nia, and hopefully you work the situation out. More power to everybody involved in that situation. Moving on.
Please.
Moving on. more drama in the community in regards to what's happening in today's news. Ludacris's manager, Chaka Zulu, who has been arrested in connection with the fatal shooting of a man outside his restaurant, was seen on video getting jumped moments before the firing of the fatal shot. In surveillance footage obtained by TMZ, Zulu can be seen getting confronted by a group of men outside of his Atlanta restaurant, apartment 4B, including, you ever been there? Apartment 4B? No?
That's probably Mario, yeah.
Okay.
He's into that kind of shit.
Mario, hit us up. Let us know if you ever been there. What type of restaurant is it? If you've ever been to apartment 4B, what is it, 4B? Yeah. Let us know how the food is there. If it's worth going through the drama of the
Probably not. I recently tried out his chicken and beer, Ludacris's chicken and beer restaurant.
Okay. All right. Including the deceased 23-year-old Artez Benton. The outlet reports some sort of dispute erupted inside the establishment and poured out into the parking lot. Zulu, who was speaking with an acquaintance in the parking lot, is seen in the video meandering over to the restaurant when Tremont Robinson begins confronting him. Robinson had been one of the men inside the restaurant and had been asked to leave, reportedly. Okay, so that goes back to what we were talking about, right? In regards to how people act in those restaurants.
Yeah.
The behavior. As the argument escalates, a man named Corey Crawford is seen on video going to his car and grabbing an object, which Zulu's legal team has argued was a firearm. Robinson beckons Crawford and his friends to come over to him and then appears to chest bump Zulu. Man. Zulu responds by grabbing Robinson. So give me a second. Because they don't say how old is Zulu? How old is he, man? That's what I want to know. I know he's around my age, man. He's up there.
That nigga's more than likely.
He's up there. I met him once, so he's up there, man. He's been in the game for a minute. Okay, let's get back to the chest bump.
I keep yawning.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
It's all
good.
Yeah. I'll use this shit for later.
As the argument escalates, he goes to chest bump Zulu. Zulu responds by grabbing Robinson, causing Crawford and Benton to jump in and begin pummeling Zulu. We're going to show this video, too, by the way. The music executive's assistant is seen trying to help him, but Robinson punches her in the face and knocks her to the ground. Crawford then takes cover behind two cars before Zulu appears to fire off his gun, striking Benton in the chest. Crawford then appears to fire off his own gun. This is ridiculous, man. As smoke
sounds like a fucking movie, dude. Like, what are these people doing, dude? God damn.
As smoke is seen billowing out of both firearms, Zulu was reportedly hit in the back. The video shows Benton crawling away behind some cars. He later died from his injuries.
Y'all gotta excuse me, because listen, I don't watch the news. I don't fucking read the news because of what you consume. You know what I'm saying? It affects your reality. It affects your mood and your energy. These people are fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
We're gonna show the video.
Yeah, we're gonna show the video.
God damn, these people are insane. Oh shit. I'm old. Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm not old, but like I don't do social media and shit. I'm learning.
All right, so if you haven't seen it, here it is. It is somewhat graphic.
Foolish.
And there isn't any sound in it originally, so I guess this is Chaka here. This is the restaurant. Looks nice from the outside.
Is that the turkey? No, that's his joint, right?
Yeah. It's the apartment 4B. Looks like a barn. And this is Crawford, I guess. And I'm gonna tell you, personally, I stay away from places like this, man.
Look, everybody's crowding around.
Yeah,
cars
this right here.
That shit would make me uncomfortable.
This gives me anxiety. Trust me. I am quick to get away from places like this. And if I did patronize the place, it'd be in a day.
That's a beautiful old school Cadillac too. Excuse me.
Look at that, right? So
beautiful.
All right, so you can see right here the argument is happening. And you can see somebody's up in somebody's face.
Y'all niggas just ate, man. Go
right,
home,
go
bro.
home.
Like, what are we even doing?
Yeah. And so, okay, this is Benton. He was way over here. And this is Chaka. Oh, they went right in on him. Look at that, man. You're seeing a lot of these videos of people doing this type of stuff, jumping people and stuff. Learn self-defense.
Somebody's trying to
and
break
this
it.
is
Oh,
that.
oh,
yeah, they
never
punched her in
mind.
the face. That was his assistant. Okay, and that's Crawford.
It seemed like he was trying to break the shit up at first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, she was. That's a girl. And there's Chaka with the gun. Wow. And he got shot in the back.
God damn it, Eric. Preventionist.
You know? And listen, this is what I would say. When you're caught up in something, you're on your own. She's down here. She's in pain. Everybody's running away from the shot or whatever. You know, this is just horrible. Black people, stop killing each other.
Black people, stop acting a fucking y'all again. Y'all just ate. What are we doing?
Slow motion. This
Come
is
on,
Chaka
bro.
here. Bow.
This
bow.
is foolish as hell. This is why I don't watch the news.
Yeah,
I watch finance news, by the way. I'm not just unglued to what the world is, but shit like this, man, Jesus.
Yeah. Here's this assistant. Well, she wasn't trying to break it up. She was in there fighting. So, women, stop hitting men. Don't get in the fray. Wow. Wow, that's just yeah. It's
but you know, obviously that shouldn't be happening.
No.
None of this shit should be. That's why I'm laughing, because it's just this is shit that you could write for a movie, dude.
And it's Chaka with the gun. Pow. Wow, look at that. This person here,
Crazy.
you can see, yeah.
Up that close, no regard for the other people around.
It had nothing to do with it, yeah.
And he had to go and get it, right?
What's that?
He
the gun?
went and got the gun and
no,
came
it was
back,
on him.
or
The gun was on him. This guy went and got the gun.
Didn't he start the fight?
Yeah, he did, pretty much. But he's claiming self-defense.
That's not self-defense, nigga. You started the fight, bro.
Yeah.
You couldn't handle the energy that you were dishing out.
Moika 133. The fact that these grown men started a fist fight that then turned into a gun battle, is beyond me. Abso-goddamn-lutely. You're watching two men who are martial artists. I've been in the martial arts 38 years of my life. I grew up in the projects right down the street from Mike Tyson. I talk about that a lot. Like I said, crowds and stuff like that gives me anxiety. And you're seeing a lot of this lately. Gunplay, man, in the black community is ridiculous now. It is just, it's stupid. I can't say I respect him now, but I respected Chaka, man. I know a lot of his story and where he came from and what he's gotten himself to. Not just being Ludacris's manager, but
straight up,
very respected businessman as well. He already kicked the guy out the restaurant. Why would you go out there and continue with the mess? You know, what would possess you to do that? You know, hey, Black Star, what's your thoughts on that? And someone said that's terrible. Pearson, Piran, is it Piran? Okay, I'm sorry. This is why the gun is legal. They're relying on black people to kill. Oh, wow. Good point. He said, this is why the gun is legal. They're, quote unquote, relying on black people to kill black people. Sad. What do you think about that? That's why I said the same thing.
I am a conspiracy theorist, man, but you know, what is his comment again? Let's be exact.
He said, this is terrible. This is why the gun is legal. They're relying on black people to kill black people. Farley said, guns don't murder people.
No, yeah, man.
It's the
look,
people who have wicked intentions that purchase these guns that murder people.
And listen, like I said, I'm a huge conspiracy theorist. I'm not, I'm not just saying that so I can get away with what's to follow. But white, this system, man, it's a gun-toting system, dude. I don't think it has anything to do with that. They don't even want niggas to have guns. Real, let's talk about that. Now, to be fair too, in gang culture and all of that, I know was that the Nixon administration, I believe, or whatever it was in the 50s and the 60s. Especially actually in the 90s too, but bringing the guns into our neighborhoods and all of that, giving them to our people, yeah, for sure. But for this particular kind of scenario, man, it's not like, more than likely this dude has a fucking gun license and, concealed carry license, all of that shit. I doubt that it's that, man.
Yeah. Yes, Farley, absolutely. We'll have you come on in. Yeah. Oh, we got two people. We'll bring both of them in.
Can you do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right, so we're bringing Farley in and Piran in. What's going on, Farley Jackson?
Let's be respectful and not over-talk one another.
Thank you.
It's good to have two brothers that are speaking a truth. That's taking topics that are controversial and not afraid to speak the truth on these things, no matter what, you know.
Yeah.
Even if it's not popular. Yeah, my take on it, you know, I absolutely hate it when people, and I think it's misinformation, but I hate it when people say, you know, it's, you know, people want, they're putting the guns out there for people, you know, for black people to kill each other. No, if the black person didn't have that on their mind to do it, the gun is not murdering anyone.
Yeah, these weren't like two gang members or no shit.
It takes away from people's accountability. They say, you know, what if we all hold ourselves accountable?
Goddamn, niggas gotta get better connections.
Gun down on the table. Does the gun get up and start jumping around and shooting?
Right.
Does it can't? Yeah, come on, man, stop it. Like, you know, our community. Because I'm saying our community because I'm invested in our community. You know what I'm saying? I'm really not worried about what happens outside of our community because we need to fix our community first. And our community, man, we need to stop blaming everyone else for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the guns aren't killing people. It's the people with the murderous mentalities and the hatred toward their own kind that was conditioned through slavery. You know, that's where slavery that's where it comes from. But we continue to perpetuate it. Nobody's doing the work on themselves to reflect on why we have this hatred toward each other. Why do we have murderous intentions toward each other? You know, I don't think we should be out there murdering anyone, but it's really counterproductive for us to be killing our own like we do, but we do it so well.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Do you think it was self-defense from what you witnessed?
It was hard for me to tell, see what was going on in the video. Okay. Y'all have to explain what was going on. It was really hard to tell from here. But
the person who started it started shooting.
I saw a fight being started. I saw people getting jumped. You know, and if I'm not mistaken, the person or the party that started the jumping, you know what I'm saying, was the ones that shot the gun, right?
Correct.
No, that was not a self-defense thing. You know, they started something that they once they started it, and it got and the intensity started getting up on them. You know, they were like, you know, we started something that we might not be able to finish, and they went out the easy way. You know what I'm saying?
That's nearly premeditation.
You know, better than me, because if you started with me, you ain't gonna get that chance. You're going to sleep. Every one of you. You know what I'm saying? So
right. Well, question: Would you be, because this is, you know, one of the things of change your mind, change your thinking is, you know, that environment. Do you think that contributed to it?
You say it one more time.
The environment. Do you think the environment contributed to, you know, that whole atmosphere?
Well, if you're talking about serving of alcohol, you know, drugs being on the scene, you know, I mean, I'm not really sure what that environment. Do they serve alcohol there? Because anywhere there's alcohol being served at night, you know, I mean, you're going to see the violence.
Things are definitely bound to get out of hand, yeah.
Around black people. Something about alcohol and black people don't mix. We need to stop it. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop it. We cannot enjoy a conservative glass of wine or some kind of or alcohol in public without getting upset and wanting to feel like you gotta fight everybody. Stay away from it. It's not for you. It don't mix with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, if your night's gonna end with either causing physical bodily harm to somebody or murdering someone or severely injuring someone over a couple of words after you got your liquid bravado in you, then you know you don't need to be drinking in public. You know, stay home. Keep your lame ass at home and drink to yourself. Drink yourself into a stupor at home. You know what I'm saying? But don't go outside and don't go outside and do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And you know, again, I don't really care what somebody's saying. Flooding drugs and guns into our neighborhood. And let me tell you something. And I hear what you're saying, Moika. But again, if we didn't have the desire to do the drugs, if we didn't have the desire to shoot the guns at our own, well, guess what? It wouldn't happen. That's the reality.
Mm-hmm.
We need to start taking accountability. Stop blaming everybody else, or it's going to keep going. And if we don't want any growth in our community, then we'll continue to blame it on the guns and the drugs and alcohol. Like Jamie Foxx said, blame it on blame it on everything else, but yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at everybody else but yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you keep a whole community from growing, and that's how you keep a whole community from making a change for the better. Stop it. Stop pointing at everything else. Stop pointing at the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
The drugs don't hop into your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't strong arm their way into your vein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
The guns don't strong arm their way into your hand and force you to pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
That's your mind. That's people's mindset that does that.
Mm-hmm.
Their mindset.
I gotta disagree with you, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead.
I gotta disagree with you. This is the thing, and we seen it in many different scientific experiments, like with the lab mice.
Uh-huh.
There's a difference between them actually directly injecting us with these things and them just putting it there and waiting to see what happens. And that is typically what happens in these communities. They're not putting drugs there and then also affording us opportunities to go to Ivy League colleges and affording us, prosperous, and advantageous options. Those things are not. They're not showing up simultaneously in these environments. So you do have to account for both of those things. It's unfair to say that it's unreasonable to say that they put those things there, but you guys also could have just went and I don't know what exactly. What are the implications? Is what I'm saying. Those are unreasonable implications.
That's fair.
Let me ask you a question. Do you like crack? Like, if I put crack in front of you right now, do you have a desire to smoke crack?
So I've heard this argument plenty of times. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop you there too and explain it. Well, hold on. Give me.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a difference between people and their just because we're all there's people that I grew up with in the exact same those sort of environments. Most of them just didn't make it out. Most of them don't make it out because they don't know better. They don't have people. I'm also one of them. That's my point.
Right.
So to that, hold on. To that, you should know why all of us don't make it out. Even personally in my family, I'm really the only one who got up and went and did something different, but that's because I was introduced to something different. All of us don't get introduced to and shown what all of our options are. When those are the things that are put right in your face and you're not being shown anything else, it's human nature. It's not just the black community. It's not just, people who are looking to act a fool. If that's the only thing that you're being shown, how do you know to go do different?
Yeah, honestly, I think you're both right. I think you both are talking on two ends of one coin, because opportunity does give you choice. Choice is a thing of what's presented to you. So both of you are pretty much right in what you're saying, because that person in the middle could go either way in regards to
you
when it
become a
comes to.
product of your environment.
Yeah,
of course.
I mean,
that's the thesis of that experiment.
Right, and that, I think that's what he's saying on the other end, is that if it's put there, that doesn't mean you got to take it. And
but if that's the only thing there, it's human nature.
Right. But
it's not even human nature. That's an animal's nature.
Right. But the thing is that this is the thing. I'll give you myself as an example. When I was a kid, you were either a pimp, a crack dope dealer, or you did the right thing, which was go to school and figure out how you can do what's right. And some people would consider all those other things what was right for them at that moment. Now, going in that direction, there was always jail. And even like how it is with the New Jack City movie, which is the thing of nobody makes it out, which is not true, because we personally probably know people who did make it out.
But very few people make it out as
Right.
an issue. Just because there's an exception to the rule doesn't mean that it defeats the rule.
Right. So my point in what I'm saying is that even though for most people there may have not been an out, you either create an out or you become more perceptive to realize that there is something more.
So let me ask you this. How many friends do you have that did maybe not the same thing that you did, but also took a different route and left?
Oh, I have plenty. I mean, Mark Cunningham, who was my best friend at the time, and he's still one of my closest friends.
I'm saying give a roundabout figure. You went to an elementary school, you went to a middle school, you went to a high school.
Yeah, high school.
You grew up in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Of all of those people, how many of you guys actually made it out?
On a percentage,
on
average.
Obviously, you have to spitball a little bit.
Yeah. No, I mean that's easy, because when I look at all of them, they're all prospering and doing great things.
I go back home, and I'm, as you know, I'm a very optimistic person, but I go back home and nearly all of them are still there, doing the exact same thing. Some of them I'm friends with on Facebook and on Instagram. And by far and large, a majority of these people are still where we grew up, maybe not doing the exact same thing because, you know, time changes, but they're still in that environment. It's unreasonable. I think it's very unreasonable to say that you are not a product of your environment. Everyone does not defeat their environment.
Kieran said, "Each one teach one. Each one teach one." New Jack City phrase.
Everybody doesn't defeat their environment, and that's why if you know better, you do better. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but I'm saying there's a reason.
What I'm asking is, do you really think? Okay, what percentage of the people of people in general that grew up impoverished, that grew up with a very select few of things they had to choose from, what percentage of those people do you really think never ever had anything different offered up to them knowledge wise, even through television, that, you know, especially when we were growing up, television shows taught the most principles. It was the most principle teaching television show, like that Little House on the Prairie. Good Times. You know, Good Times showed one of the hardest environments to grow up in Chicago. But Good Times taught principles. Good Times, The Cosby Show. There's so many of them that you're telling me that these people never, ever in their life, at no time in their life ever got to look at something different.
So,
or do you think that some people are predisposed to liking what they like?
It's not about predispositions. It's not about predispositions. Let me ask you. You have that argument. However, why is it that these environments still exist? Why is it that the infrastructure in those environments never change?
Well, that's institutionalized racism. That's.
It's because the people there, that is all that they know. These are the same people who were denied opportunities for college. Some of these people don't even know that college is an option.
I would say that's a very small percentage.
It's not a small percentage, dude. That's not being fair. That's not being fair to the plight. And again, I'm not saying that this is an excuse, but there's a huge difference between an excuse and a reason. These people don't even know that they're victims.
Okay, I'll agree with you on
Mentality is saying that for the people that still have not come to anything different than what they were exposed to when they were growing up. That's a victim mentality, because I don't believe
It's okay that you don't believe it, but you don't get to deny science.
Hold on. Let me finish my statement. You can't tell me that the majority of people in the world in different circumstances and situations haven't seen anything else but that was in their four corners in their neighborhood, that they have not gotten offered any other thing other than the life they had. That's absolutely that is erroneous. Like, no,
It's definitely not erroneous. We're talking about even the black laws, dude.
Opportunities everywhere coming at people, but life is about choices and moments. Every moment that comes at you there's a choice that you can make. Period. To say that these people don't have any, they were never offered any chances.
Offered any chances?
He's saying, hold on,
You're being a little ridiculous. Dude.
He's saying in the whole spectrum, because he mentioned even television. Television was one of the main things that made me realize that I could have a better life.
Why are we not millionaires?
No. It's not. Hold on.
That is what he's describing.
No.
Just because you've seen something different, doesn't mean that it's gonna be different.
Right.
You can watch. There are people who grew up without both parents.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they watch the Cosby Show doesn't mean, oh damn, you know what? Great father figure. That's changing my life entirely.
Well, hold on.
That doesn't make sense.
Hold on a second.
That doesn't make sense.
Let me mediate for a second.
The Moynihan report is a perfect debunking of that argument completely.
Yeah, but that's not the rule for everyone though, because the thing is that it's like this.
If it's the majority rule. Just because that we're exceptions to the rule.
Right, but that depends on the region. That depends on the people.
Dog,
that depends on the community.
Exceptions to the rule.
I'm not disagreeing with you. The thing that I'm saying is I understand what he's saying as much as I understand what you're saying because of where I'm from. He's from South Central LA.
I'm from Oakland, California.
Right.
I grew up in North Richmond.
Right.
Dealing around in East Oakland, West Oakland.
But you also know that you can go half a mile and everything is different.
I was about to say, gentrification would not even be a term if these people were not by far and large failing in these environments.
But it's not about
and
that.
And they're not they're not just failing in these environments because they chose to fail.
Mm-hmm.
The education is different in these environments.
Mm-hmm.
The entire mindset and mentality of people who are having to figure out how to survive in these environments. That's not just a choice. It's a reaction.
No, but we never
it's
said.
A reaction
I
to the environment.
I think you're thinking that we're disagreeing with what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying, dude.
So what are you saying? Because if I'm saying that both of you are right.
Just because you're saying that, listen to his argument. What he's saying, words are very important. So to say that these people, and this is what you said out loud, I'm not putting these words in your mouth.
Okay.
You're saying that this is a decision?
For some people it is.
On most of these people?
No.
It's not a decision on most of these people, dude.
No.
I'm saying though, because you're very passionate about how your perspective perspective of is it?
It's not a perspective. I'm talking about the actual environments.
What I'm saying. The only statement I'm saying is that I know that there are limited choices, but I'm saying there are plenty examples of people that came out of that. Plenty. What's it called? The sisters that are in tennis. You know what I'm saying? That were in tennis.
So let me ask you a simple question. Because I already know where you're going, dude. I've had this argument plenty of times.
Because you ain't never let me complete a thought though.
I've had the argument plenty of times. I know where you're going.
You gotta let him finish. Go ahead.
Let me just complete my thought. What I'm saying is, there's plenty of examples of people that were in those same circumstances or worse that have made it out of there. That alone shows that there is something else that people can see and look to. That's why these people, these celebrities and these public figures that have success, that's why it's so important, the platform that they're on, because people that share their same color and their same background and their same ethnicity and their same history can look and say, you know what? I can do it. They did it. They came from where I came from. You telling me that's not something that they can look to as an example of a different lifestyle, a different choice?
Okay. Let him finish now. Go.
Just because.
That's all I'm saying. That right there is that is. Yeah. Go ahead. But go ahead.
So understand. Those of us who looked at those different examples in that manner, we're the exception.
Okay.
We are the exception.
Okay.
Definitively, which means by definition, we are completely different than those who still have to pick and choose how to even get to the next day in those environments.
Mm-hmm.
So
These are hold on.
Okay.
We're talking about generations of people who are jobless. Generations of people who don't have trades, who don't have knowledge to pass on to the children that they're having. When you don't know, you don't know. Just because you've seen it on TV or maybe you saw a movie, that's not motivation.
Right, and we understand it, but
that's not the key. That's not the answer.
Yeah, I think
because by far and large, when the movie is over, when the television show is over, for some people watch it, even having the opportunity to watch this shit, they're at somebody's house who is a little more better off than they are. They still gotta go home. And home for them, by far and large, I mean, we're talking about projects. These niggas don't have access to cable. A lot of these fools don't have access to the internet. A lot of these fools, and when I'm saying a lot, I'm saying a majority. That's what projects are. That's why there's such a problem. We can't say that it's a problem and then in the same breath say that, well, why didn't they just make a different choice? They had clearly there are better options. And hold on, but why? The statistics would be completely different if it was that simple. It's not.
But no one's ever disagreed with
why?
that.
How come he's disagreeing with
No,
it?
he's not.
He's
That's
shaking his head right now.
No.
Why is it that the middle class is not full of black people with the same background? Explain that.
There is no middle class anymore. There is no middle class.
I'm speaking about financially. The people in those environments, they'll never have even made a total of $100,000 in their lifetime. They'll never even have access to that. Am I saying that that's an excuse not to do better? No. But if it's something that has persisted for what we could say now is almost centuries, between the 1800s now into the 2000s, you have to look at it scientifically. You can't just say that it boils down to choice. That doesn't even make sense. I'm not making excuses for these people, but I'm saying
you kind of are.
No, dude, we're talking. There are.
No,
hold on.
Hold on.
There are decades.
Hold on, let me speak.
There are decades.
There are
decades of scientific experiments.
I'm not disagreeing with any of that.
You gotta research a lot, but dude, come on, man.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I think both of you are resolute on your point, and you're not seeing that both of you are right, because it's like where it is now. It's like, I'm right, and he's like, I'm right. And it's like, no, you're both right, because I understand what he's saying, and then I totally understand what you're saying, because I come from that background.
But you can't say that the minority, which we are the minority, we are the exception. You can't say that the minority figured it out. How come the majority hasn't caught on yet?
Nobody has said that.
That's the reality of that argument.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Although, if that wasn't the reality of that argument, he wouldn't be arguing.
No, he's not arguing. The thing is you're both resolute on your point. That's where the problem lies. You're both not seeing that both of you are right. And that's when people get to a point of not moving forward.
Because I understand what you're trying to do, but hold on. No, listen to me. The words are important, and that's what I'm arguing. I'm arguing the rhetoric. His rhetoric is damaging and dismissive of the entire plight. We didn't figure it out. Me and you and him who got away and got out, we don't have the formula.
So
we didn't just figure it out and choose differently. That doesn't make sense.
I see what the problem is. I see what the problem is. So it's a thing of
the rhetoric has to be completely. It has to acknowledge what the reality is.
Right.
And the reality for most of these people is, nigga, I got food stamps. I'm not getting a check that I can depend on every month. I'm not going and working these hours every month and saying, okay, this is what I can depend on for my livelihood to take care of myself, my household, however many people that is. I'm waiting on food stamps. I got to figure out a way to get these kids to school if they're going to school. We can't dismiss. There's so many.
Nobody's dismissing.
What I'm saying is,
I hear you. Nobody's dismissing it. I'm telling
you. The rhetoric.
But what do you consider
the rhetoric is dismissive of it.
It's not dismissive.
Okay, so stop. Let him say again.
I'm asking you, what about me? What about what I said was rhetoric? What I said wasn't rhetoric. All I'm saying, I just have a different perspective.
Saying that these people just should have chose differently.
He didn't say that. That's not what he said.
Bring it back out. Bring it back out. In short, so in short, what are you saying? What are you saying that these people should do?
He didn't say anyone should do anything. He asked, do you think that none of these people was ever exposed to something better?
What does that imply?
That means that there's an opportunity for them to see something that would ignite something.
But that's my point. Those are the implications.
No.
Dude, I'm not dismissing what you're saying.
Yes,
I'm saying I understand that.
You are.
Those are the implications. Understand the implications.
Listen.
That's where we get in the rhetoric.
No, because
the implication. Hold on, because I want you to understand that I get it. If you're saying that these people, at some point, they were exposed to something different.
That's not what he's saying.
You were just about to say that.
That's
man.
That's not what he's saying.
Say it.
He's asking.
I'm talking about what you were about to say.
No, I was reiterating what he's saying.
Reiterate it.
He's asking a question. At any point, did any of these people not have anything that told them that they could do better? It's not about do better. It's did they not? He's saying, he basically said, you mean to tell me there was no television, there was no person, there was no program, there was nothing that person had access to that showed them that they could do better? That's what his question was.
This is okay. So this is how I'm gonna fix that. Me and you have this similar conversations often.
Mm-hmm.
if 18 years of your life are spent in tumultuous, whatever it is that's going on, how many years does it take to cure that?
Probably 18 years to get out of it.
I'm 43 and I'm still going through that. I don't want to divulge all of my personal business, but I'm telling you, I'm exactly the demographic that you're talking about.
So am I. But listen, so am I. So that I'm not disagreeing with that. But listen to the logic of that. 18 years of damage, reasonably speaking, mathematically speaking, can take about 18 years to fix.
It's not a lifetime.
And we're not just talking about 18 years on that individual. Look at their entire lineage.
You're looking at him. Me, I'm trying to tell you, I'm who you're discussing.
You're the exception to the rule. I'm the exception to the rule. He's the exception to the rule. The reason why we're even having to have this conversation about these people who are still there is because they're the majority.
No one disagreed with you.
I'm not an exception to the rule. I'm still fighting. I have never had a savings account, my friend.
My point being that we got out and did something different makes us an exception. I didn't say we became rich.
I've been letting you speak. Let me finish my point.
The argument hasn't changed.
It's not going to, because y'all both on your own mountain. I'm telling you.
I don't have a problem with what you're saying, because I agree with it, because I am the person you're talking about. I represent that. I am that now. I'm that right now. I have not, contrary to whatever successes somebody have seen me in my personal, in my life, because I'm a public figure, I promise you, my life is not what is perceived. It is a lot less and a lot worse, but I am fighting. I have parents that never parented me. All they taught me was, all my dad taught me was how to fear him. He beat me into how to fear him. Never prepared me for the world. Never showed me how to handle my business. Never did anything to leave any kind of. He never did anything to leave anything for me to come into.
So how did you overcome that?
I saw other people. I saw how other people's lives were. I saw that it was possible when I saw somebody like Michael Jordan, when I saw kids singing groups and stuff. I saw stuff like that. When I saw other things, movies, I'm telling you, movies and stuff like that showed me, man, I can have a different lifestyle. Stuff like The Never Ending Story. Stuff when I saw with kid actors that I grew up with that were well better off than me. I was not one of them, but I grew up playing little league sports with these people, and I said, wow, they're actors. This is what they do. I would like to do that.
Okay.
And I said, if you do it,
I'm listening. No, I'm listening.
Okay.
And it gave me something. Look, me, I always knew there was something better than what I was growing up in.
Okay.
There was,
go.
And that's all I'm saying.
Okay, go.
You're definitively, you are the exception. Your outlook on it, your reaction to it was the exception. People like us, how many people did you try to take with you? Right? And those people's, we try to take so many of us with us to get out. And in that moment, this is the issue. The choice is, nigga, I've been hungry for a week. Me and my brothers and sisters, or me and my family haven't eaten in weeks. Mm-hmm. Do I go hungry another day? Or do I make whatever the decision is that I've already been exposed to? These niggas gotta eat right now. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that that's an excuse, but that is a reason. Mm-hmm. That's a scientific reason. What makes it scientific is we're talking about centuries of this exact same behavior. Mm-hmm. That's what makes us the exception. Mm-hmm. We are the exception. So we can't say just because we all may have seen, oh, you know what, there's a possibility.
He never said that. He never said that.
Listen, let me speak. Mm-hmm. We don't get to say, how come if we all seen something, or if so many of us got to see that there's a possibility for there to be a different outcome?
Mm-hmm. He never said that either.
I never said that.
He just asked the question. It was a question.
But understand the implication of that.
Right, but that's your perception of the implication.
It's not a perception. We're talking about language.
No. I wanted you to answer it. That's all. That's all. I asked
the point, and I've already answered it. The answer is that we're the exception. It is human nature. I'm hungry for a week. Just because I see, this is an opportunity, but me and my brothers and sisters are still hungry. Do I go hungry another day, or do I do something to feed my people right now?
I think part of the problem is you're not realizing that we understand that.
I know that you do, but my point is about the rhetoric of it.
Right, but the rhetoric
is not fair to the plight, dude.
No, because it's very easy to become and I've been mediating this because
I don't put the same burden on the people of where I come from, dude.
No.
My buddy on here asked me what the question was. So, and this is somebody that grew up with me. He knows me for sure. Like, we've been through it together. He asked me what the question was, and I asked him, "What do you really honestly think that everybody that grew up in similar circumstances like us, that were impoverished or weren't as well off as others, never ever had anything shown to them other than that life? Like they never saw a glimpse of any. They were never able to see through somebody else's life, through somebody on television, a public figure, an athlete, a lawyer, through somebody else's lifestyle. You think that for however long they've been on this earth, they've never had any other opportunities that they've seen, that they could have made a choice. And my answer was that life is about moments. And and I'm telling you, each moment of their life was not destitute and no options, no light. There's opportunities that come. There's different flashes of life you see through other people's lives. And what I'm saying is, when they saw that right there gave them an idea that there is something more than these four corners that I live in this neighborhood.
Right. Right. Okay. Right. And basically what he was saying is that person that latched onto that is the exception to the rule, which I agree. The question for both of you that I want to, because we're going to have to, we've been on this for a minute, we got to move on and almost end the show. The question that I have for both of you is, do you see each other's point of view? And is there a means for you to be able to see that point of view and pass that on to others, so that way they can, if there's somebody's watching right now in the projects, right now, they're watching our show, maybe they've been following us on Instagram, maybe they've been looking at us and seeing our life. Doesn't matter. It could be you, me, him, doesn't matter. And they're watching us right now speak, and their life is shit. Shit. They may have a crate in a box on the street, and they're saying right now, how do I get out of this situation? Using what both of you are saying, you understand that his situation is horrible and it's trash. You understand that he needs to see something maybe that could give him some sense of light, that could point him in a direction. How do we take that and help people? Because both of you are on your mountain. You're not going to come off of it, and that's okay. That's okay. You're both on your perspective. That's fine. That's what change your mind, change your thinking is all about. You're going to have nights like this. But my thing is, I see both of you, and I think you're both right. And I'm not changing that, because I'm that exception to the rule. He's that exception to the rule. You that exception to the rule. But I know for myself personally, I always saw things that made me realize that I could do better. It doesn't matter how bad it was when we were literally, huddled up 5 brothers in a bed just to stay warm or eating, government cheese crackers. There was always something maybe on television or somebody that was at the bodega that I saw that inspired me to know that I could do better. And I can't speak for other people, but I know for me, that's what did martial arts showed me that I could do better. The community center of who I studied under, he showed me, my teachers, I had teachers. I always had somebody tell me that you can do better. In the projects, during the most violent time in Brooklyn, East New York. Just like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's life was shit until Custom Model. There's always, to me, I always believe there's always something. No one's life is that bad off to where you don't have something that guides you to an opportunity of doing better. Now, if it's to a point of, I mean, look, there's kids in Nigeria that make little movies. They live in huts. They make little movies. They all find a way to get over to somebody's house. I know there's a martial artist cat. He hits up all the martial artists that I know online. And he's in Africa. He gets everybody in the village to work on his little movies. How is that possible? How is that possible that he's able to do that? He saw something that made him realize he could do it. So that's why I agree with what you're saying, because it was just a question. But I understand where you're coming from. You're saying that the rhetoric is dangerous, but I think you need to reevaluate what is the rhetoric. Because if you don't give people an opportunity to say that there is something better, then we might as well just let them be who they are. We might as well just say, you know what?
That's not my argument.
No, I'm not saying that. That's just the point that I'm making.
You're sending it to an extreme end of the
No, I'm not.
spectrum.
No, I'm not. I'm just. This is just the point that I'm making because I understand what you mean by wording and rhetoric. I truly get that. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I think you misconstrued what he was saying. I think by what he said, you felt like he was taking away.
I don't speak off feeling. My entire argument this entire time is about the scientific research that has been done. Even just based on what you just said, there was a catalyst that existed for you to go and do something different. Mm-hmm. Everyone does not run into that catalyst.
We're not disagreeing. He's just saying.
You just said it out of your own mouth.
You'll go back.
You just said it.
No, you'll go back and watch it, and you'll see that you misconstrued exactly what was said. That's not what we're saying. He's saying.
You just said, no one's life is that bad.
I didn't say that.
You literally just said.
No,
that.
I didn't.
You just said that.
No, I didn't. I said that as a point of a question. See, you're taking what we're saying as questions as what we're saying as fact. And that's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that there's people who have horrible lives. We're not disagreeing with that. But the question is, are you saying that there is no possible opportune moment where that person who has the worst life on the planet doesn't have something that gives them an opportunity to know that they can do better? That's the question.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
That's all.
Then that ends it right there. That's both of yours opinions. That's all he had been asking.
That's not an opinion.
It is an opinion.
Think about this. So
because it's not a fact.
But yeah, actually, it is the reality of it.
That's
no.
Not,
hold on.
Okay.
Because you had a catalyst that got you out. That catalyst for you, how many people does that person get to touch?
But that's what makes me the exception to the rule. Like
That's my
said.
point. I'm a mentor, and that's why it is factual. This is not a feeling. I'm a mentor. And anybody who actually knows me, I have people in the comments right now. The places that I go back to and I show this is different. This is what you have the opportunity to do. I have less than a 10% success rate because of what in their environment that they're exposed to, that they're dealing with.
Right, but
I'm the catalyst.
Okay. I think we need to get off this topic because.
I'm the catalyst, is what I'm saying. You guys are not acknowledging. You had a catalyst. I didn't say that hold on, understand. I'm not saying that our lives ended up perfect. I'm not saying that this means that any of us ended up rich. Nobody helped you.
Who was my catalyst? You're saying I had a
You tell me. You tell me. Did you hold on. I'm asking you. Did you end up in that room right now? Everything done that got you where you are right now was just you. That's my question.
No, nobody does it on their own.
That's my point. There are catalysts.
No.
Even for me, the way that I got out, the lady that took me in, she can't take in my entire graduation class into her household.
Yeah, but it's not for her to do that.
And that's my point. So all of those other people, this is what makes us the exception, mathematically.
Yeah, I think
there are not enough people. Hold on. There's not enough people to save all of us.
People don't see anything that gives them any hope or any idea that there's anything different than what they're in.
Yeah,
right
you're looking at the catalyst as you missed exactly what he said. You're looking at the catalyst as being an individual that comes into your life and changes things. That's not what he was saying.
I didn't say that they changed it, but we're talking about the catalyst can be many different things.
Okay.
The catalyst is just the opportunity to get away.
Okay, so that's your definition of what the catalyst is. He's saying that it could be television, it could be a TV show, it could be many, many things.
But I'm talking about something tangible.
Okay, so now we get stop. Now we're getting to the meat of it. So it's a misconstrue. I said that. It's a misconstrue.
It's not, and no, hold on.
It is.
No, because we're talking about definitively. Hold on, definitively, can y'all please hear me out? Someone took me in. I didn't see on TV.
But that's your
hold on.
experience.
No, hold on. I didn't see on TV that there was something different. Okay, let me pick myself up by my bootstraps. And let me go figure it out on my own. Someone at some point had to help me. Someone at some point, even in your life today, had to help you.
But that's not what he's saying.
It's the same for him. But hold on. But this is what's important about that. There are not enough people to help every single one of us who are down and out.
Stop.
But this is what I'm saying.
You're talking about a total different.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Hold on. No, but listen to me.
Okay.
This is why I'm saying there are so many of them that never make it out because there's not enough people to help all of us.
But that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying, Antonio.
Y'all just said it.
No.
Y'all just said. Are you saying that there's not something that showed them?
Something or someone.
Just because you've seen it doesn't mean that, oh, well, that's the key. Let me go do it.
But that's what it was for me. It wasn't, listen.
Hold on. But let me go do it while you were doing it, right? While you were digging your way out,
there was
somebody or something
not disagreeing
helped you.
Not disagreeing.
That's my point.
Right, but that's your point.
There's not enough of those people for every single one of us.
You got to respect his point as much as you're respecting your point. I totally I knew from the jump what you were saying, but I'm saying you're discounting what he's asking you.
Because it's illogical.
But that's your opinion.
That's not an opinion.
It is.
Because
that was my life.
If there were that many catalysts for all of us, hold on, listen, I'm talking about our whole community. We're talking about the history of our community. It would not still be happening right now.
But listen.
It wouldn't still be happening right now.
That contradicts you saying that we
No, it does not contradict.
Let me finish. It contradicts you saying that we are the exception to the rule.
That's my point. That's not a contradiction. That proves it.
No, it doesn't.
It does prove it. There's not enough people to help all of us.
Even if there were people there to help, some people would still not be in alignment.
Because it's a process. Just because somebody helped me right then and there. Remember, reparation takes a while. So that lady, because she was actually a foster care worker, the lady who helped me, the amount of us that she did bring in for as much as her house could hold. How many of those people fell out because they didn't have enough time? Nigga, I'm still hungry right now.
Right.
Yo, hold on. You're helping me, but I also have 5 or 6 brothers, sisters, the people that I still have to go back to and help. We're dismissing, when we say that, we're dismissing all of the circumstances involved.
No, we're not.
You don't get to do that.
Not with what he was asking. Because
you keep saying asking, but you guys have made statements. You're making the statement right now in what you're insinuating.
Not at all. I agree with you 100%. I just said it's a different perspective.
It's not perspective.
It is.
That's my point. It's not perspective. If it was just perspective, there wouldn't be a mass of people that we're even having this discussion about.
Listen,
that's not perspective.
You can have
it's statistics.
Hold on. No, let me get on the understanding of human psychology. Explain this. You can have someone that's just not reachable. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay, so that would take scientifically what you're saying and move it over. Because if you got 5 people on one person and that person cannot be reached,
then they have to move on to the next person. And guess what?
Of course.
Of every 10 people that I reach out to, typically I might get 1.
That's fine.
But that's exactly what you just said. Yes,
that's not what I'm saying.
That was their choice. You understand what I'm saying?
But understand humans.
And if they didn't take your help, that was an opportunity that was offered to them by you, and they made a choice.
How many people is that one person connected to?
I'm saying that no one is without an opportunity. No one. That's absolutely erroneous.
It's not erroneous. We see it all the time.
And someone can go with it. Well, let me ask you one question, and I'm gonna leave it alone. One question. The question is this. So, for the people that you say that aren't the exception to the rule, the people that you say don't have any opportunity and those opportunities never come to them within a lifetime. So are you telling me that these people are just hopelessly destitute for the rest of their that this is what they're here for. They're just here to be destitute and to not have and to scrape and scrounge and to grind. This is what you're saying?
Yeah. Because we're not all just living in nature where the fruit is free, the water is free, all of that. That's not our reality here in the United States. That's not a majority of the world globally. That is not the reality. Resources are not just free. If they were, no one would be in these positions. We're talking about actual classism. Classism exists. Whether you want to say that the middle class exists or any of that shit, it exists. Financially, there are brackets. These brackets exist. These people at the bottom, surfism has always existed. Peonism has always existed. Always. Everybody can't be successful. Everybody can't have something to eat. Everybody cannot have access to the resources to ensure that their family is going to be okay. Not when a financial system is implemented. That's what I'm saying. So when we say, well, how come they they never seen anybody else do? If we did it, white people have been saying that shit forever. If we did it, how come y'all ain't did it? Why haven't we did it? Collectively, I'm not. Because under this system, now that puts all of us back in the exact same position. Even those of us who look like us that are rich, we're still not doing what white people are doing. We don't have a masses of wealth the way that they have it. Collectively.
We don't, but we can.
I'm not saying that we can't, but I'm saying all of us are not gonna make it. All white people have not made it. That's not a mentality, bro. That's an observation. That's an observation, and that's a reality. All of us can't make it.
There's no fact in life that says.
So okay, so I have one question. I have one question to what you're saying.
There is no proof and there's no bearings for you.
I have one question to what you're saying. Can you name a community of people, a race of people, a sect of people who in their group, everyone is prosperous?
The Amish. And I know people who are part of the Amish community.
There are no poor Jews? There are no poor Amish people? That's crazy to say, dude.
There isn't because
There
hold on,
are.
let me answer. Hold on, stop.
And if
stop.
not,
Let me
then we're getting,
answer.
but then we get into different types of classism,
Right,
which would be communism.
Right. Well, no, it's not communism. It's
I mean but that type of ideal, everybody gets equal parts, and that doesn't exist here in America.
You asked me a question and I answered it with fact. I'm telling you.
And guess what? They're the exception because you named two.
And so again, that's why I said okay. All right, guys.
Is that gonna exist? Is that gonna exist in America?
That's one question. What is success to you? What is
No. We're not going to go
that's
there.
relative. I'll agree that's relative.
Because we never really got into an understanding of both of you meeting the minds on what you both had asked, and I believe that you were both right. Farley, thank you for coming in. That was yeah. No, I appreciate your comment, and I appreciate you checking in on us. We definitely would love for you to come back and be on the show again with a different topic.
I agree.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
It's all love, man. I want everybody to understand that this is not contention.
Not at all. All right. God bless you, brother.
I don't know how to do that, CD.
Okay. All right. So, again, I'm capping it off to where, as mediator, because that was the gig that all of a sudden fell in my lap, I believe they both were right. I believe that they were, points in what both gentlemen said that are very profound. And it opens up discussion. Somebody said, dude is emotional. He's judging everyone by his own standards, which is wrong itself.
Dude who, me?
Yeah. It depends on what success is.
Dog, everybody can't be a king and a queen. We all know that.
Let's see. You can judge someone else's success by yours, though, bro.
I haven't judged anybody's success by mine. That's why I said.
Like it doesn't mean.
If all of us were the same,
like a dictator,
we all would have made it away.
Yeah.
We all would have made. How come? But that's why I asked. How come all of us haven't made it out? How come those environments still exist?
No, but you're absolutely right, and I don't think that was the disagreement, Antonio. I think
I'm not speaking about him. I'm speaking to them. How come those environments still exist? If what I'm saying is so outrageous, how come all those people are still in those environments?
And that's what I don't want you to do. What you're saying is not outrageous. I think you both were on two different mountains, and you both stood your mountain.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about these people commenting. What you just read to me.
Mm-hmm.
If what I'm saying is so outrageous, if I'm that ridiculous, if it's that outlandish, somebody please explain to me effectively why these environments still exist if all of us can just make it out.
I don't think that's what the disagreement was with the audience.
That's why. But you can't speak for them. That's why I said.
You're right.
Y'all pointed out and let me know.
What's going on your end of the world? What are they saying?
If everyone is a king/queen, then the world has no value. Mm-hmm. It is no longer exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And so to that's why classism, in places where classism exists, and everyone is not afforded an equal share of the pie, which we all know that is a reality, how come all of us aren't doing the same thing? How come all of us are not? How come those people who are doing those things that everyone is saying, that we were just discussing, as, well, how come you guys didn't just make a better choice?
I don't think that was what Farley was asking.
But why are they still there? Whatever words we throw at it, why are they still there and we're not?
Well, a lot of it is institutionalized racism.
So we agree that classism of some sort
never disagreed.
Is
playing
a part.
Never disagreed.
So then none of us get to say, if we were all exposed to the same thing, why are some of y'all still there?
No one said that.
Man.
That's what you went to. You have to go back and watch the video. No one said that. No one. It was always a question of, do you honestly believe that there is no person or no thing that anybody
and every
ever saw?
single time I say yes, I do believe that.
But you didn't say that for a while.
I said it multiple times.
No, you didn't. You said it about 15 minutes ago. It took us going around the mountain to go up the mountain.
I said that multiple times.
No, you didn't.
And how you guys retorted is, so you're still saying that they had no positivity in their life at all?
No,
yes,
that's not
that
what
is
happened.
exactly what I'm saying.
Because when you go back and watch the tape, you'll see Farley say, "Wow," when you finally answered it, because that was the question. You gotta go back and watch it, and you'll see for yourself that you'll be like, okay, that's why I kept saying you're right in what you're saying, but your perspective is different. No. It's
I'm never gonna agree to that.
It's not. You don't have to agree. I'm just telling you what's going on.
This is the reason it's not perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You yourself just said about the impact of institutionalism or institutional racism.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been saying this entire time.
Right, but
so
you have to accept as well.
Under that guise, that means that it does not matter that they seen something different. It does not matter that they came across an opportunity.
Yes, it does, because the exception to the rule. I'm going back to...
Exactly, the exception is not the rule. That's why it's the exception to the rule.
But what is the rule?
The rule is you are a product of your environment.
Okay.
And you could say that that's not the rule, but how come it's been going on for centuries?
No, I definitely agree with you.
It's a constant for centuries.
But in any environment, what Farley was just basically saying is that there is something that will come into that environment that will ignite a spark in you to make you see things different.
And that equals us. What about the rest of them?
No, because that's what the difference was. You're looking at it as the responsibility of the individuals to make the difference. He was saying that a television show, someone seeing somebody that inspires them, can also be the difference.
So what about the rest of them?
Why
aren't they out?
They're not meant to be out. That's what he was basically saying.
I just said that, and you have people in your comments saying that I'm maniacal.
But no one said that you're maniacal.
But I'm using big words. But it's not outrageous.
We got somebody that wants to come in. Let's see what they got to say.
For sure.
This has been a good night. Hey, Ryan. Ryan, come on in. See what you got to add to the conversation. Ryan? Oh, he probably changed. Okay. You changed your mind, Ryan? Or maybe you made a
think
mistake?
it's something with our
okay. All right.
Instagram, but
what else are they saying?
That's Eric. No, I mean it's what we just read. There's not that many new comments, but Eric is agreeing that it has been a hell of a show. Is what he agreed to.
We'll sleep good tonight. All right. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see through our ticker all of the different handles that we have up there, different places that you can follow and subscribe and like our content. We greatly appreciate everyone that is still here with us. Hey, Charles Curtis, with the show. We love debate here. We love difference of opinions. We look forward to more phone calls and more live chats and questions that you may have about our format, our show, and whatever the topic of the show is. Again, you're watching Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking. Our call-in is 404-997-2188. Again, that's 404-997-2188. We will be back Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Instagram is CMCT_show. Facebook, CMCT show. YouTube, CMCT_show. Twitter, CMCT_show. TikTok, we don't have anything up there yet, but we also have our link tree, which is CMCT_show. You can reach me at DarkCon2000 on Instagram and on Twitter at DarkConEntertainment, DarkConENT, and Instagram at _dosage. What else? That's pretty much it. We'll have a topic of discussion coming up for next Tuesday. Let's see, what else? Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us. If you have anybody out there that wants to do any sponsorship, we're open to that. If you want to donate and or give to the cause, make sure you check our link trees.
Yep.
Got something to add to that?
No.
No?
Just the dosage. It's not the _dosage on Linktree.
Oh, okay.
The link is just Linktree, the dosage.
Okay.
No
the link
space
tree.
or nothing.
Okay.
It's a link.
Got it. Hell of a night. Tuesday, hell of a night. It's been a week. It
has been.
I'm pretty sure Antonio and I are going to continue the conversation.
More than likely.
After we get off, and you might want to check out the Patreon to once we start putting stuff up there to see what happens if I'm able to. Somebody's got.
I could read his comments really. I told him we were about to close out the show, but he said that a lot of people use the exception as an example to prove the system wrong, but it always comes down to consistency. But if the system consistently fails/works, then that's its design.
I agree. Not disagreeing with that at all.
That's been my argument.
Right, but in a roundabout way. Because the thing is that there were things that, like I said, it was anyway.
I know. That's why, look. But that's why I say rhetoric is important, Yeah. It has to. There was a girl I used to date when I was in elementary and middle school, and we maintained a friendship over the years. And one of the things that I remember us talking about before we both graduated high school was there are poets who speak and they write and create with and at the Shakespearean level, right? Using so many different phrases and big words, but can you have the same impact with the words that are root words that are simplistic?
Tupac.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I agree.
And I believe that with the rhetoric, if we're not making sure that it's also coming across in the simplest words, then we're failing.
Yeah. So to your point, what's his name?
We're failing our own plight if we're incapable of explaining it at the base level.
Yeah. To your point, somewhere _outside_. I don't think it was so much emotion as it is passion. That's a big
definitely
difference.
No, I'm very passionate about every sect of our community and every level being those who are absolutely at the bottom and destitute and their lives are just absolute misery. And then for those of us who are thriving at many different levels, it's important that we don't dismiss those at the bottom with you could have just made a different choice. There's not always another choice for those people.
Now listen,
at that level, there's not always another choice.
No, listen. And had you clarified that,
I did say that.
No, you didn't. But had you clear,
I said that.
No, you didn't. But had you clear, when you go back and watch the tape, you're gonna look different. You're gonna say you see it to yourself.
I'm not. I said it because I'm very responsible with my words, man.
Right. But sometimes when we're passionate, we
stupid.
Sometimes we don't see exactly how we're coming across. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It has been a blast. And we look forward to doing so many more of these and having our format together to where anyone that calls in and stuff like that. We're looking forward to having some merchandise very soon. And we are ecstatic to be here having these conversations.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because there are not enough of us discussing our plight. It's everybody else in the world pointing their finger at us and asking us, why are we in the situation that we're in?
Well, that's why Well, okay, wait a minute. This is what somebody else said? Or
no, that's That's my observation.
Okay. So that's why you see the crowns in our advertising. Two kings sitting here giving a platform and a format for people to be able to understand that we have to take it upon ourselves. Yeah. We are holding ourselves accountable to help. Love you. God bless you. I am Troy Skinner, your co-host.
We're both we're both hosting, man, to the best of our capabilities. Troy Skinner, Antonio Dean.
Signing off.
Everybody have a good night.
Thank you.
Oh, do we play the?
Yeah, we gotta play it, man. We gotta play it.
I realize I don't have to hold the Bluetooth button.
Oh, really? Is that what it is?
At least it was earlier today. It changes every time, don't it? All right.
If we didn't have technology, what would we have? And you're gonna have to look up the Amish.
Oh, I know about the Amish.
Okay. All right.
Don't get it twisted.
No, I'm not. Hey, I
don't get it twisted.
I just said, hey.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's we got many more shows. Here we go again. This motherfucker did not play from the speaker. Oh, you know what? I know why. Hold on. Please keep it short. I don't speak for all the rap. I'm your mechanic. I don't want no parts of wax. That was
throwing darts and wax.
So you figured it out. That bass sound a lot better.
It does.
Okay.
All right, that's the song. Now everybody have a good night.
Muscles on his lonely back. I stay calm and fat. I've been on the grind so long, hoes could never call me that. Please keep it short. I don't speak for all the rap. I'm your mechanic. I don't want no parts of whack. Keep throwing darts and wax. I'ma melt you. Every beat got a birthday. I just make it special. If you came to wrestle, well, maybe we can do that. Chapman, bring the dosage and show you where your shoes at. Exactly where the proof at. I ain't gotta prove stats. I don't need the hookup.